Yeah, welcome. And happy Monday to those who celebrate Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. San Diego Sports 760. And happy Sace Day, Mayo.
That's right. We still got the some of the decorations up, so I guess we might as well keep celebrating.
Well, we're going to keep those up. So anybody who's ever been in our studio, what you notice very quickly is there's a lot going on. You know, we have probably 8 televisions. We have studio lights and cameras. We have weird paraphernalia left over from all of our shows. Ours more than anybody else's because we have a random collection of things, a growing list of decorative items. We've had these Christmas lights. If you watch the stream, I don't know if they show up on the cameras, but we have had these Christmas lights since our Christmas spectacular.
That's right. Right.
And now we've added to it these, I don't know how you describe it. I guess it's just
they're like they're the flags that if you were like walking through Old Town. Yeah, they're hanging up as you walk around the Fiesta de Reyes,
or if you walk around, Mexico.
Right.
I've never been, but this is how I imagine it looks.
Like if you go to Los Cabos, those are all over the place.
Yeah, they're just like decorative doily print flags.
Yeah. They're
with
very
different
fun
colors. They're festive.
I like it.
And TD he put them up using those what do we call
zip ties? Yeah,
the zip ties. So we're not taking them down.
Well, they're the same zip ties that the Christmas lights are being held up with.
Yeah, that's exactly correct.
So we'd have to have a ladder. We'd have to have cutters.
Yeah. The streamers were easy to tear down, but the flags, the Mexican flags, they were difficult. So Viva.
But yeah, exactly. By the way, somebody stole our box from What's in the Box.
Yeah, that is gone. That has gone missing. We don't know. Somebody needed a 12 by 12 box. And I always think this way when somebody
with our sticker on it.
Right. When somebody steals something from me and it's not of like great importance, I just try to think of it this way. Like they needed it more than I did.
Right.
They really did. I'm going to be the bigger person here. They needed it more than us.
I was happy to come back to my cup that I left here, my glasses that I left over the weekend. It was a tricky day on Cinco de Tres.
Oh my gosh. Cinco de Tres for us was about as busy as it possibly could have been. We navigated 4 different tequila brands in studio, all brought to you by Keg and Bottle. KegandBottle.com. You could get any of the things you saw on the show or go to any of the 10 locations in San Diego. Tony Kanja arranged the whole thing with Jessie Goose. Was that her name? Jessie Goose, I believe it was. And then you had these 4 different brands coming through. That was awesome. It was a festive weekend for me. I celebrated a graduation on Saturday. My nephew Ben graduated Westmont College. Super proud of him.
Congratulations to me.
And then, nice. And then you graduated too. Is that what?
No, his name was Ben.
Oh,
my name is
Fletch.
Yeah.
Huh. You know what I just realized? Last Friday, when we had TJ Miller in, who was fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, he was great.
We were supposed to call Julian.
Julian.
760.
760.
We call him today.
I just realized he came in. TJ Miller came in early and then jumped on the mic, and that threw the entire 7 o'clock off.
What was so funny about that is I figured, obviously we'd have plenty to talk to TJ Miller about, but I figured if there was a lull in the conversation, I would bring up the conversation that we were planning on having with Julian before TJ came in.
Right.
But being preempted by TJ Miller, who was, revved up and ready to go when he walked in here.
God, poor Julian. He was preempted by a cop with his potential girlfriend. Now he's preempted by TJ Miller.
That's my fault.
Yeah. Well, no, I think
always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Sorry,
Julian.
We're changing that. Come on.
Listen, Julian, we'll shoot Julian a text today. We'll make sure we get around to calling him today if he will humor it. We'll make room for him today. No question about it. Because for anybody's catching up, Julian is a guy who texted the station and said, gang, I met a girl at jiu-jitsu class. I asked her out on a date and she said, let me think about it. We asked for an update after giving him plenty of advice. We said, oh, no, you go right back into the fray. You ask her out again. You tell her Big Rich, TD, and Fletch invited her and you on the show.
We got a table.
We're going to do a candlelight dinner.
Yeah, we got chairs.
Candlelight dinner at 7 a.m.
That's correct.
Listen, my grandparents used to eat dinner at like 3:30 p.m. Who says you can at 7 a.m.?
What I'm saying. By the way, as I get older, I get it. I get it eating at 3:30.
The dinner's creeping up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just need like one meal a day that needs to happen about 3 o'clock. And then at about 7, you have a scoop of ice cream and 8 o'clock bed.
Have you gotten to the
Talk
point
to me,
yet
Goose.
where you go to a breakfast place and you look and see if the lunch menu's available yet? Because I've been there since I was like 12 years old.
Well, yeah, because you do that when you're broke.
Oh
Yeah. You're like, oh, God.
We are going to miss early bird if you idiots do not get out the door.
Yeah. Why are pancakes $14, but I can get a BLT in 30 minutes for $6?
Oh gosh, that was college for me. I remember if I woke up early enough, I'd eat. If I didn't, I'd have to wait until early bird dinner time. Anyways, speaking of college football, I had a lot of my teammates on Netflix live last night. Julian Edelman, Gronkowski, most famously Tom Brady. It was the greatest roast ever, and Tom Brady took the podium last after being absolutely savaged by celebrities and comedians and those former teammates. Drew Bledsoe was there. Coach Belichick was there. Bob Kraft was there, the owner of the Patriots. Matt Light, former offensive lineman, offensive tackle for the Patriots, good buddy. Like I said, Gronk, Julian, Danny Amendola, Randy Moss, all there for one person. And I thought this might end up being a little bit lame. Like there's a chance that maybe if there's too many parameters put in place, it could end up not being what it should be. Instead, it was absolutely hysterical. I think Kevin Hart did a good job playing point guard. He had a couple of really solid moments when it was his turn to roast Tom Brady. I mean, even Kim Kardashian was funny. The whole thing, it was funny. It was exactly what it was supposed to be.
You could tell Netflix was working out some of the kinks live on air. Like there was a couple times where the prompter was way behind and Kevin was getting pissed off, but I thought it was hilarious too. And I went in worried that it wasn't going to be good at all. So I didn't watch it live. I caught it. I started about 8:00 and made it about an hour 45 in until I fell asleep. But Nikki Glaser stole the show, in my opinion. Of the hour 45 I saw between her and Drew Bledsoe, they had some of the funniest lines I've ever heard. And Drew Bledsoe obviously was played on the fact the whole F you, Tom, for stealing my career. And congratulations on winning all these Super Bowls with the team I built.
Should have been me.
And he was like, I own a winery now. Tom Brady's biggest favorite wine is hey ref, where's the flag? It was just, oh my God. I was laughing so hard.
I'm concerned. I have not watched it yet. I do want to see it, but I'm concerned that if Drew Bledsoe was the one of the funniest,
dude, he was hilarious.
Kevin Hart and Jeff Ross were there.
Oh no.
Jeff Ross was good too. I'm just saying Drew Bledsoe's was so thoughtfully crafted out. Whoever wrote
funny.
it, I thought he was going to be boring because of the way he talks, and then he was hilarious.
Of the comedians, I think Nikki Glaser put together one of the best roast sets I've ever seen. I think I've watched every roast. I really love them because I love, it's almost like seeing an all-star game, right? You know, it's the best comedians at this style of comedy on the stage together, and it's hysterical listening and people make fun of each other. I mean, that's literally all we do on the show. In between talking about sports, we just tease each other.
Right.
It's the best part. Like, so you get to watch professionals do it. And it's awesome.
It's like finally somebody's saying it.
Yeah.
Finally somebody's being honest here, and we can just laugh about it.
So Nikki Glaser attacked everybody on the stage. She was incredible. Dana White had a funny 60 seconds. He was introed by Tony Hinchcliffe, who does the Kill Tony podcast. He's a good comedian as well. He had an incredible set. He actually went in harder on the comedians on the day than he did the athletes. Gronk's set was hysterical because he kept losing his place on the prompter and make fun of himself because he can't read. So he was just like at one point Kevin Hart was helping him out. It was so funny. He's like, sound it out. He's like, there's a lot of E's in this one. That one's a silent. That's a silent E. You're not supposed to pronounce that one. It was so funny. And then Julian Edelman had an incredible set where he was just pretending that he was Tom Brady's gay lover the entire time.
Good.
It was
good.
I mean, it was for a roast, for a live event, for an athlete, which typically those can be really stiff situations where people don't have a sense of humor. Tom Brady didn't put very many parameters on this one. And it was funny. The only person who seemed to color outside the lines a little bit, and he got snapped at, was Jeff Ross. So Jeff Ross gets to the podium. And
he comes out wearing a bloody OJ jersey, by the way, and says, I'm coming back from hell. Aaron Hernandez says hi.
Yeah, there were a couple of Aaron Hernandez jokes. So he comes out, and he the one joke he tells about Bob Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, was about the massage situation.
Yeah, you made it seem like Tom gave him the massage.
Right. And listen, everybody remembers the story. Kraft got caught on tape getting a little more than what you typically pay for during a massage at a place called Orchids of Asia in Florida. Apparently, Tom Brady, the one place people weren't allowed to go were after Bob Kraft. And I think his family was off limits, but everything else was fair game.
His family was not off limits.
No, yeah.
They
as long as his family wasn't Giselle.
They went after the divorce hard. The one joke that Kevin Hart told, he's like, listen, he's like, Tom Brady, when you left New England and you went to Tampa Bay and you effed your coach, and sometimes you got to F your coach. He was like, sometimes it's good for you to F your coach. Like Giselle, like you're because she effed that karate man. He was like,
how did you not see this coming? She went to jujitsu class 8 times a day.
Go to karate class 8 times a day. She was a white belt, Tom. She never advanced 8 times a day. It was unbelievable. Kevin Hart, listen, it's tough in those situations to play point guard. He did such a good job. But anyway, so with Jeff Ross, he gets on the stage. He tells this joke about the Kraft massage thing. I forget, it was a funny joke. I forget how he said it.
It was Tom's first day in New England after being drafted. He goes up to Bob Kraft's office and says, hey, you made the best decision of your life right now. Would you like a massage?
Yeah.
And then Tom walks up to the dais where Jeff Ross is speaking, and he says, don't bring up that S ever again.
Yeah. He said, don't say that bleep. And Jeff Ross was like, oh, okay. And he moves on with his set. But you could tell like you were not.
It was for real.
Yeah. Like that wasn't staged. It almost felt like the Chris Rock Will Smith moment where Will Smith was, keep my wife's name out. It was a little bit of that. He jumped out of his seat. He walked over to Jeff Ross and it caught it on the microphone. He covered his mouth. He was trying to say kind of off mic, but still everything was.
Does my mic still work?
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah.
My mouth is covered.
He wanted Jeff to know though, so he did not whisper. He said it right into his ear. But anyways, that was funny. If you missed it, you should check it out. Definitely worth it. If you missed this, it is worth looking into as well. The Padres have made the biggest trade of the baseball season.
Yeah.
There is
breaking
no
news
question about it. We're a little late.
It happened. Did it happen Saturday?
Yeah, we weren't on air when it
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, I didn't.
So Friday, it gets announced that they're acquiring Luis Arraez. And then Saturday morning, it officially becomes official because obviously he's got to fly in town. They probably gave him a once-over physical. It's like, cough. Yeah. Good. Okay. Get out there and play.
Yeah. Here's some see-through pants. See you out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Luis Arraez, a second baseman, comes in and he's a DH in Saturday's game and landed within an hour of first pitch against the Diamondbacks. Goes out there and has a 4-hit game. Well, there he is. I mean, that's making history the first time appearing as a Padre. I mean, immediately ingratiating himself to the fan base. Twitter lit up when the trade happened. Twitter lit up on Saturday when he was having the game he was having. This is huge, guys. I mean, this does feel like it shifts the dynamic of this season.
Yeah, it does. I mean, especially when you see the juice that he provided on Saturday. I mean, they lit it up with 13 runs. Padres, all of a sudden you go, hang on, they've already strung together some wins here. Now they're throwing all kinds of runs on the board again. I mean, this is fantastic. But wait, can he pitch?
Yeah.
That's the problem, right? And we'll get into Joe Musgrove, but who knows? The Padres might be going without a guy for a while. But Luis Arraez, career 325 hitter. He comes in, he picks up right where he left off. 4 hits in his debut, 1 for 5 yesterday. No big deal. But it's awesome that they're bringing in someone that they're obviously adding to this team, not waiting for the trade deadline. And while they're doing it, they're saving money, by the way.
They're saving money, you mean just in general, this season?
No, they're saving money by bringing him on. Because of the 3 that they offloaded, they're only paying him the veteran minimum and actually the prorated rate of the veteran minimum. So they're paying him like $545,000 or something. And the Marlins are eating the rest of his $7.9 million he's owed this year.
Man, I'll tell you where I'm jaded is I'm excited, man. I get fired up. I see it happen Saturday. This is fantastic. Oh my God, they're great. This is going to be awesome. But then in the back of my head, I go, Xander was supposed to be awesome too. He got on base a lot.
Yeah, and this guy's a second baseman. I don't really know what the plan is for Xander or Cronenworth. Obviously, there's a lot of money tied up with both those guys, but Luis Ariz, he plays second and first, and then he DHs. Like, what is the plan with those three guys? Is it a platoon situation? Because that doesn't work.
I think the plan was we tried all shortstops. Maybe we should try all second basemen.
Now we switch it up, and then we'll move on to a different infielder. We're going to really start getting more third basemen. Now, look, it's an interesting move, but this lineup needed a jolt because the guys who you're paying boatloads of money to have not been providing the pop that is requisite to make a serious run. And here's the problem for AJ Preller. And this is where I want Padres fans to weigh in. And our text line's open, 70470. Start your message with team. And our talkback feature is open. Go on the free iHeartRadio app if that's where you're listening. Download it now. If you're not listening there, we have a little microphone button next to the play button. You could click that. You can leave us a voicemail that we can play live on air during the show. We have a whole database where they get filed into. This is the question I want to know. Are you happy about this trade, ... now and into the future? Here's the reason why I asked that. Because this did feel like, oh, good. Wow, the Padres are doing some splashy things in the front end of this season so that they can get hot and that they don't get too far behind the eight ball. But then you start thinking about AJ Preller, and you start thinking about the fact that he is in job preservation mode. If AJ Preller doesn't have a winning season this year, if this team doesn't go at very least to the playoffs, he's gone. There's no question about it. So do you think AJ Preller's all that worried about leveraging the future of this team for the now? The answer is absolutely not.
Yeah.
So he traded away 2 outfield prospects and a first base prospect, along with Woo-Suk Go, the reliever, for Arraez, and that's great because that may lead to wins on the front end of the season. It may lead to a better record come the trade deadline, and maybe even he'll get greenlit to make some more trades. But you're leveraging your future in order to be good now. Now, a lot of people say, well, sign me up. I'm ready to win a World Series. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. But you do have to remember there's life after AJ Preller, and he could leave the farm system bone dry on the other side of this season.
So Woo-Suk Go was making major league money. I don't know exactly what it is, but he was only in Double-A as of when he got traded. So it's like that was a pretty big drain on the organization, having major league money committed to a guy who's only in Double-A. And then the other two were top 30 prospects. I think they were both outfielders. And so they move on from all three of those, and that leaves them only having to pay Arraez $592,000.
Yeah, three prospects in total, the first baseman as well. But yeah, you're spending some of your top prospects.
What I like about this move is that if AJ Preller, if this is it for him, like if this is his last season, say it doesn't go well, whatever, he's going out his way. Like the splashy trade has always been the AJ Preller way. So if he truly believes that this is how the Padres are going to be good, he's doing it the way that he has always done it. And if it works, great. Padres maybe make some noise this offseason. Yeah. If it doesn't work, Preller's gone.
But to Rich's point, going out his way is also depleting the team for years to come. So it's, now
well, he's been doing that for years anyways.
Yeah. I here's where I get hung up is it seemed like last season was the window. Last season was the opportunity. And then now this season, it almost feels like you're just trying to put some patchwork on things and see how good of a season you can have. Where last season it was like, we're going, man. It is all or nothing. And it turned out to be nothing. So this season, as they're adding pieces. I dig it. Hey, please go out here and just shove. I mean, just make it happen. Please. But my gut is, I guess it's just a filler, a patchwork.
So we're getting texts already off the text line. How about this one? Again, 70470. Start your message with team if you want to text us about this. All we have is the now, Rich. Our contracts handcuffed us, so all we have is now. Look, I am a big believer. This is my personal belief that you kind of always have to concentrate on the present because you have no idea what next season is going to offer in terms of the strength of your division, the strength of the league you play in. So all you can really do is concentrate on the present. However, like everybody knows, and this is an old expression, but if you start a forest fire to have a barbecue, you may have one delicious meal, but look at the devastation on the other side of the fire you created and decide whether or not it was worth it for the future. Yeah, the meal was great, but what's left now? You've burned up all the wood. That's my only concern here. I love that Luis Arraez is now a Padre. I love the fact that you have an all-star caliber infielder who can DH for you. Clearly, he had 4 hits in his debut. All of that's gravy. The problem I have is you have a general manager, president of baseball operations on the hot seat. And I don't think if I were him, I would be all that concerned about the future of the Padres if that future didn't include me. So I, in self-preservation mode, would do whatever it took to make sure that next year I had the same job, collecting the same paycheck from the same organization. And the only way I'm going to do that is if I appease this fan base and this front office by winning now.
I agree with that, but I also agree with the texter. I mean, all you have is now, I don't want a season where we're like, hey, it's fine. Nothing's going to go well this season. Why? Because in 3 or 4 years, we are going to have a team that we are really going to enjoy. Like, I don't want that. Like, let's go as fast as we can right now and see if we can do some damage, see if we can get a victory here, see if we can bring home a championship. And then if we don't, we figure it out next season.
And just look at 5 or 6 years into the future, things aren't going to be too bright for the Padres. So I'm on board with winning now. I think that might be your only option in this case because the handcuffs that the texter was talking about, they have names. It's Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Joe Musgrove, who is injured again. And you look 10 years down the line, most of those guys, not Joe Musgrove withstanding, are still going to be here. And they're going to be in their 40s playing baseball. The Joe Musgrove injury is going to be a huge question mark here. It's elbow inflammation, which if you look at Padres history and elbow inflammation, it's never good. But he's on the 15-day IL as of yesterday. He seemed optimistic about it when he spoke to Kevin Acee, but elbow inflammation are like the 2 most dreaded words you can hear from a pitcher.
All right, the Lakers gone ham. Or is it ham's gone from the Lakers? Anyways, they need a new head coach. That's the point. Darvin Ham's out. Who will be next? We'll get into that on the other side. That news dropped on Friday as well. But before we do, Good Feet Store. Got to talk to you guys about these arch supports that have really saved my back. So we're going to be going on a theme park trip pretty soon here, this show. We're pretty excited about that. We'll have more details soon. You can guarantee I'm going to be wearing my arch supports the entire time I'm walking around the theme park. I wear them every single day. And here's the reason why. What they do is they support the foundation for the rest of your body. So if you have, foot or ankle pain, knee pain, lower back pain, hip pain, I had some terrible hip pain. This was years ago now, it feels like, because about a year and a half ago, I was introduced to the great people at the Good Feet Store, and they got me fitted for these arch supports that really support your lower body. They make the back pain, the hip pain I was experiencing, the knee pain on my right side especially, just dissipate. And as a result, I can live a fuller life, a happier life. I'm in less pain. Everybody knows if you're in chronic pain, especially lower body joint pain, it affects everything you do. You're less inclined to go to the beach. You're less inclined to go to the mall. You don't want to do the shopping trip. You don't want to pop out of the couch and play with the grandkids or the kids. You don't want to do a lot of the things that you should be able to do at your age because you're constantly in pain. I get it. I was there. And with the Good Feet Store, I found a solution that works for me. And I wish that for all of you. They have 200 plus locations around the US and overseas. So if you're interested in feeling better sooner, faster, go to the Good Feet Store. Goodfeet.com is where you could get all this information. Goodfeet.com.
San Diego Sports 760 has got bonus bucks for you, and those bonus bucks are at the tune of $1,000. If you want to win $1,000 with bonus bucks, all you got to do is listen for a keyword and then take the keyword over to sportssd.com. Whew. Your next chance coming up, 9 o'clock.
This update is presented by Duthie Power Services. We'll begin with the Padres here, who took 2 out of 3 from the D-backs over the weekend. They're on their way to Chicago. Now they'll play the Cubs over the next 3 days. A couple of big storylines from this weekend. Padres made a trade for Luis Arraez, a career .325 hitter since his debut in 2019. That's the positive. Negative side of things, Joe Musgrove placed on the IL yesterday with elbow inflammation. NBA playoffs, Cavs took Game 7 from the Magic. That officially ends the first round of the postseason. Second round has already gotten going. Timberwolves beating Denver 106-99 on Saturday. Couple of games coming up tonight. Knicks, Pacers. They play game 1 of their series. Timberwolves, Nuggets playing game 2. And at the Kentucky Derby, Mystic Dan wins it in a photo finish, 18-1 odds. Congrats to Mystic. Business in Southern California, they have turned to the generator experts at Duthie Power Services for nearly 60 years. Duthie can assist with all your generator needs, commercial and industrial, including maintenance, rentals, purchase, and installation. To secure backup power for your business, go to DuthiePower.com.
Sheedy and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Ladies and gentlemen, our very own Fletch, genius behind the scenes, making some moves to make the day go smoothly. Everybody put your hands together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, nicely done.
Roast coming up on Friday.
We should have a Fletch roast.
Dude, you do that every day anyways. This show is a Fletch roast. It's a TD roast. It's a Big Rich roast.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun.
Here, he's out of the room right now. Let's talk about him. He looks fat.
Yeah. God, he really doesn't, though. He looks great.
I know.
Golly.
His hair looks dumb.
Yeah.
Not
You know
really.
what? He wears a medium shirt.
He does do that.
Yeah, it's like super tight.
It's always tight. You can see his nipples. It's weird, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I don't ever want a tight shirt on, ever.
You didn't play in the NFL.
Do the NFL players only like tight shirts?
Well, it's like they're proud of, like they're supposed to be big, right? So they're always proud of it. You always have the excuse.
Huh. He also has amazing posture.
No.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Stop talking about it.
We're just talking about, your posture. Yeah.
What about
You
it?
do kind of walk like a rooster.
Oh,
What?
I'm the cock of the walk,
Yeah,
baby.
it's kind of the walk.
It's
Wake
like
up.
your chest is always super out.
Shoulders back.
I think it's because of how big your butt is that everything kind of overcompensates in the front.
Okay, I looked this up at one point.
Where-
I have what's called, I think it's called a lordotic spine position.
Wait, that's a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, hang on. I'll
Oh,
look at
no.
Are we making fun of a disability?
Yeah.
I think okay. So check this out. This is exactly what my spine looks like. Do you see how the lower spine is kind of swayed back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't
So
that scoliosis?
no, scoliosis is different.
It's like an S.
Scoliosis is when it's like crooked.
So if you're looking at somebody,
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
looking at somebody front on, like scoliosis is when the spine is wavy, like looking from the front on. My spine, when you look at my profile, is wavy. So this
Oh,
part
yeah,
tucks
yeah,
in
yeah.
more.
Yeah.
He
And
arches
so-
his back.
Yeah, arches back. Yeah.
So it arches my back a little bit. So
It's the rooster.
it puffs my chest out,
Yeah.
and it actually makes my butt kind of pop out too. So that's the reason why I'm so good at twerking.
In school, in grade school, did you guys have to get checked for scoliosis?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I used to like hide and skip it because I'm like, I don't want them to tell me I have it.
Yeah.
Not that I had any reason to think that. I just didn't want them to
We
say
did
that.
it in the gymnasium.
Yeah.
I remember, like it was this big,
Library for us.
it was a big line of people, and they had a curtain, and you had to take your shirt off and bend over in front of like an orthopedic surgeon or whatever. And the guy could not have been less interested to be there, like, which is probably a good thing. Like, I mean, when you really think about it, having a bunch of children bend over in front of a doctor, you don't want him to be all that into it. But like, you go behind the curtain, and then
Fletch
literally
just puts his head in his hands.
you literally, he would just be like, okay, you're good, next. And this happened. I mean, this poor guy, 400 students sitting there with just terrible coffee breath, like it's like Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon.
Need a cigarette.
And no one ever has it.
Yeah.
I could never say yes.
Yeah, exactly. We got a bunch of no's again. Going on to Woodland Middle School.
See you next year, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, school days.
So
You guys worried about Musgrove? Am I the only one here?
Yeah, I'm worried that I am. Yes, I am. And I think that look, last season there was some elbow issues. This season we had said basically from the start of the season that Musgrove doesn't quite look like Musgrove. He had like one good outing, I think, against
It was the
Reds.
last one. It was the one he supposedly got hurt in.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's elbow inflammation. I mean, we have no information on elbow inflammation.
Other than Padres history, when you hear the words elbow inflammation,
Yeah,
a
but,
few days later you hear
history.
out for season. Not saying that's what's going to happen.
Well, last season he didn't come back because they sucked. So why have him come back?
yeah. I mean, like,
I'm not talking him specifically. I'm talking the rest of the Padres players. We've heard those two words followed by much worse words a week later.
Well, here's the reality. If you're a pitcher, you're going to get sore elbows. I mean, you're putting so much torque on your elbow. Of course, your shoulder and your elbow are going to be the two parts of your body that break down the most during the course of your career. Can it mean Tommy John surgery at some point? Sure, it can. But can it mean it'll just flare up and then calm back down? Yeah, of course it can too.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Come on.
There was other breaking news on Friday, not just the Luis Arraez signing or trade by the Padres, but also the LA Lakers fired Darvin Ham.
Shocker.
Yeah. Like we literally were talking about this for about half a week before it actually happened with the Lakers, but it was officially official as of Friday. The Lakers part ways with Ham after 2 seasons. Here's the reality. When the Lakers do anything, we could pretty much subtract Lakers and just say LeBron.
True.
And that's the story.
Yeah.
Like, LeBron James fired Darvin Ham.
Right. And the shocker of this story is that it didn't happen the night they got bounced. Yeah, I mean, that's it. They waited a couple days.
Yeah. They at least they let him get home. I forget if the last game was in LA or Denver. I'm pretty sure it was in Denver. But yeah, they gave him a couple days. They probably had to sort some things out with his contract, whatever it may be. And then, yeah, they give him his walking papers.
They needed a scapegoat here, and that scapegoat couldn't be LeBron.
And here's the deal. Like, there's a figurehead and very political part of being a head coach or a manager. And I'm talking specifically about the NBA and baseball. In football, college football, professional football, in, frankly, college basketball, the head coach makes a difference. You need to have a good head coach. Like Brian Dutcher with the Aztecs, you need to have a Brian Dutcher to have a successful Aztecs basketball team. In football, you need a head coach. You need a great head coach to have a successful team. In fact, I would consider head coach and quarterback the two most important people in a franchise, whether we're talking college football or pro football. But in the NBA, in Major League Baseball, your head coach and your manager, they don't really matter. And so what does firing Darvin Ham really do for the Lakers? The answer is not much. And the truth is, if LeBron liked Darvin Ham, guess what? He would still be the head coach.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, look, fans want to see some sort of change. LeBron wants to act like he's going to make some sort of change. So Darvin Ham, guess what? You're the guy that gets to be on the poster for, look, the Lakers are making changes and it's going to be so much better next year.
Drew the short straw.
Yeah, because Bronny will be here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, and then think about the Lakers in general. Like, they're in a situation where they have to do everything that makes LeBron happy because LeBron has the option here. Maybe he's played his last game as a Laker. So if LeBron doesn't want Darvin Ham there, guess what? Darvin Ham's not going to be there. If LeBron wants Bronny there, guess what? Bronny's going to be there. Like, this is what it is. When you sign up LeBron, you get the whole kit and caboodle. Like,
That's
there
right.
is no halfway going with LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean, it's the guy running the show. That's what it is. He's the guy running the show. He's pulling the strings. So Darvin Ham, sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Sorry. Didn't work out.
So here's a weird wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
We're going to fill it with all the blame from this first round bounce from the playoffs and a couple of shovels of, you know what? Actually, we're going to put the Westbrook blame on here too. Yeah, that didn't work out. Russell Westbrook from a year ago. Yeah, that's all for you too. And then what else can we pile in there? We've got it. You know what? I always hated that lamp. Can we put that lamp in the wheel? Darvin, could you wheel that? You know what? Out of here,
That's
like right now.
That's right.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. So, I mean, listen, last year you heard it with the Padres. Like, you know what the big problem was? Bob Melvin and AJ Preller.
Yeah.
They just were so mad it ruined the season. It's like, did it? Or was it potentially like all the money that you're paying to all these players didn't amount to squad?
Correct.
That feels like the bigger problem.
Yeah.
Well, now that we're all depressed, let's get happy again.
What?
Checking out the Demons for today's Padres game against the Cubs. And I tell you what, I like a lot of them. Fernando Tatis Jr. just has to score a run, and I'm multiplying my payout by a bunch. Oh, what am I doing that on, you ask? Prize Picks.
That's right.
Prize Picks.
That's
and when
right.
you sign up for Prize Picks today, use promo code DOGS. That's a little bark in your life. DOGS. You're going to get a first deposit match up to $100. Richie, what were you on this weekend?
Oh my gosh. All right. So I was all over the NBA playoffs. I went more on Luka Doncic. No. I went more on Jokic and Anthony Edwards, and I won big.
I'm proud of you. So Saturday, actually, I saw something I'd never seen before on Prize Picks, and it was some sort of promo where if you just submit an entry and you click opt in, you're going to get money back on that entry no matter what happens. And that's exactly what happened. I had a $10 entry going on UFC 301, which was great, but I wasn't a winner. I was kind of bummed out about that. Well, Sunday morning, I wake up $5 extra in my promo account through Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. The promotions are my favorite part about this, whether it's Taco Tuesday or a Flex Friday or some of these random ones like the NBA Stars, which have them going this week in the postseason. Prize Picks is the best. You can win up to 100 times your cash, and all you're doing is picking more or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections.
I also love the fact that Prize Picks offers injury insurance so that your lineups stay even if one of your players gets injured during the playoff basketball season. Like, so if you have a player who exits a game in the first half and doesn't return for the second, Prize Picks will have your back, and it does not count that as a loss. So say you have a 6-player entry in, and one of those guys leaves the game injured. It's not like you lose the whole entry. No. You're still going. It's just a 5-player entry now. I love the fact that they're amenable, because it doesn't feel fair.
And they don't have to do it.
Yeah.
They don't have to do it, but they do it anyways. Download the app today. Use code DOGS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code DOGS, DOGS, on Prize Picks for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Stay connected with San Diego Sports 760 no matter where you are, whether you're stepping out of your car or settling in at home. Just command your Google or Alexa smart speaker to play AM 760 or use the free iHeart app for seamless listening. It's like having your favorite station right in your pocket.
San Diego Sports 760. Hey, by the way, this is Big Rich for SDFatLoss.com. Want to talk to you guys about SDFatLoss.com and the weight loss plan that they gave this whole show. I dropped 35 pounds, 35 plus pounds in 1 month. TD, he lost over 31 pounds in a single month.
And before I started, couldn't sing a jingle.
No,
honestly, it was impossible.
It's made us look better. Mm-hmm. It's made our pants fit better.
Yeah.
And now we're all great singers. Fletch, he's lost 40 plus pounds and he's continuing to lose some more.
Since last Thursday, down 6 pounds to today.
Okay, so he's continuing the weight loss. He's going to be down over 50 pounds before it's all said and done. If you want results like we've had, okay, I'm doing quick math here. We're over 120 pounds down now and counting because Fletch is back on the weight loss plan. Me and TD, we're on the maintenance plan. And that's a beautiful thing about this. Not only you're going to lose the weight the natural way, but you're going to keep it off because they have a plan for you after the weight loss. You maintain the weight loss. It seems so simple, but so many diet plans don't do this. You get on those weird injections and then you lose weight fast, but you gain it all back. That's yo-yo dieting. And then you also don't have to count points. You don't have to count calories. You don't got to exercise, which we're big fans of. We're not big fans of exercise. We're big fans of not exercising. You don't have to exercise to lose weight with scfatloss.com. Also, there's no weird protein shakes. They don't send food to your house. You're just eating real food. You're getting real coaching from real people. Wayne and Chloe, our weight loss team.
Yeah, and I tell you what, when you talk about being on the maintenance plan, it doesn't even become a plan anymore. It's just part of life.
Yeah,
it's easy.
Complete lifestyle change. If you want to change your life, if you want to lose the weight that you've been dying to lose for so long now, SDFatLoss.com. And if you sign up right now, you save $200 by mentioning Big Rich, TV, and Fletch. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, Monday morning. If you're just waking up with us, thanks for doing it. Tune in on the free iHeart Radio app.
Fletch just asked why it was so low. The chair is sinking.
Yeah, the chair is sinking.
It doesn't stay up. I've tried.
Yeah. The free iHeart Radio app also has that talkback feature. If you click that feature, talkback, right? It's a little microphone button. You can leave us a voicemail. We could play it on air. So if you got some thoughts you want to share about Luis Arraez arriving in San Diego, really arriving in Arizona, and then having a 4-hit debut, first time that's ever happened for a Padre player, we'd love to hear from you. The question we posed is this what's best for now and the future? Because yes, you may win right now, and that's great. But what is it doing to the prospect profile moving forward? Because AJ Preller, look, he's walking a line right now. If they have a bad season, he could be gone. So is this a little bit of self-preservation? Are we spending a little capital toward the future? Are we selling tomorrow to make today a better day?
What's your feeling? Do you think it's best?
Okay, listen, I said it earlier. I feel like I'm a big believer in the now. Like, you got to worry about the present. But here's the deal. Like, would you completely empty your savings to throw a really great birthday party
Hell yeah.
for your 8-year-old? Like,
No.
you're like,
no.
we got $100,000
Hold
in the college fund. I got an idea. Let's spend $50,000 on a blowout banger for his 9th birthday party.
Well, sort of, because it's like that. Using that analogy would be like, well, but if the banger's really, really good, right, and like everything's awesome, like we're gonna make money off of it.
We booked Foghat. Foghat's gonna be there. 311.
Foghat at 311.
Sugar Ray. We're throwing a block party for we're throwing a block party for our 9-year-old. For his birthday, and not only do we have a petting zoo, we got a donkey show for the parents. It's gonna be weird. No, it's I don't understand a lot of things that happen in life, but I do understand when I see somebody acting out of self-preservation. You know what I mean? Like, and I see there's a little bit of that going on right now. They go on that 5-game losing streak, and I'm sure AJ Preller panicked. And he was like, whoa, if we have another slide like that, this ruins our chance of getting to the postseason. So I better act fast and get back on the horn with the Marlins. I had a couple irons in the fire, and I better make that trade now.
Well, they won 2 or 3. They won 3
4 in a row.
Well, they won 3 in a row without Horizon.
Correct.
So,
and then they won Saturday, lost Sunday. So Dylan Head, Jacob Marcy, Nathan Martorella, and Woosa Go. Those are the 4 guys who got given up to bring Luis Arraez back.
We never even got to chant Woosa Go.
I know, because he wasn't very good, but they were paying him a lot of money to stay in the double A's.
So chantable.
Which I think that also became something like Preller's looking at payroll and understanding what this new regime wants out of payroll and the Padres, and he's saying, we're paying Woosa Go like big league money.
Can you imagine?
To chill in the double A's.
So when your lineup comes up to the plate and Ha-Seong Kim is whatever, he's your 5-hitter, and you say Ha-Seong Kim, and then all of a sudden in the 5th inning, Woosa Go gets called in to relieve the pitcher. It's a Woosa Go, Woosa Go, Woosa.
I mean, that place is going to reverberate.
Home run. Well, go be Marlins fans then.
Wait, what?
He's on the Marlins now.
Oh, okay.
Go over there.
Yeah, that was
I think he said beat Marlins fans.
He's like, go beat him up.
Yeah, like, wow. Like a Giants thing.
Check this out. Coming up on the other side, a guy is coming back out of retirement. Maybe. And also, we want to get to your text 70470. Start your message with team or your talkbacks on the free iHeartRadio app. What do you think of the Padres trade? Is it okay to leverage tomorrow for today? Are you cool with that? Because you sent a lot of prospects to the Marlins, a couple of top 30 prospects, but you may have a pretty special season here. We'll see what the fans think. All right, so we're going to do that. Also, we may catch up with an old friend on the other side, Jiu-Jitsu Julian and his date that never was. All of that coming up next. But before we run, I want to talk to you about my dentist, my doctor, Dr. Jordan Colby. I was talking about this last week. I was just on the phone with the office over there, and I booked my whole family, our teeth cleaning appointments. And so we're all going up to Oceanside to the office to meet with Dr. Jordan Colby and his dental hygienist and the whole staff there. And I just love the fact when I called him, or I called the office and I talked to the people there, they're like, hey, Rich, it's been a while. I was like, yeah, things been going good. And it feels like you're catching up with an old friend before you get into the business of booking an appointment. And that's how it feels every time there. It's a family environment. It feels like they know you. And frankly, it doesn't feel that way. They do. And they treat you like family. And when you go up there, it's a warm, inviting environment for your whole family so that you don't feel nervous about getting into the dentist chair. My kids like going to the dentist. How many people can say that? But it's simple, right? You book the appointment, go to oceanviewdental.net, and then you're booked with one of the world's, in my opinion, best dentists. Okay, this guy has people from all over Southern California coming to his place because he can give you a new smile in just a day. And it's going to be healthy, and it's going to be confident, and it's going to be a situation where you walk out of there looking and feeling better than you did when you walked in. That was my situation. That's the reason why I found him. I was missing teeth. I had a bunch of molars that I need put it in. I needed an extraction done. And so I had 3 implants done. I was told by my former dentist it would take 18 months. It only took Dr. Colby 3 months to do the whole procedure, start to finish. And I only went to one office, and that was his office. He's the most competent and capable dental practitioner I've ever been around. And I want you to sign up with him as well. Again, that's oceanviewdental.net, oceanviewdental.net.
Hour number 2, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by Duffy Power Services. We'll begin with the Padres. Over the weekend, they won 2 out of 3 against the D-backs. They also made a trade for Luis Arraez, career 325 hitter since his debut in 2019. Also, Joe Musgrove placed on the IL yesterday with elbow inflammation. We'll see how that goes. In the NBA playoffs, Cavs took Game 7 from the Magic in the first round to officially end the first round. Second round already gotten going with the T-Wolves beating Denver 106-99 on Saturday. They will play again in Game 2 coming up tonight. Knicks and Pacers play their first game of the second round. And at the Kentucky Derby, Mystic Dan wins it in a photo finish. He was at 18-1 odds. Tired of the threat of power shutoffs due to wildfires, severe weather, or electrical grid failures? Climate extremes and aging infrastructure make a backup generator essential. Duffy Power Services has been San Diego's generator expert for nearly 60 years. Go to duffypower.com.
Welcome to the show. Good morning and happy Monday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. So check it out. Were you shooting staples?
Trying to.
I actually have a staple gun. It's left over from TD's gift.
Dude, I already used it. I already used the gift. I got myself a battery-powered...
Yeah, just shoot yourself with that. I ask for so little in this life, in this show. I ask for one scream, and he can't even do it for me.
That would have hit you in the forehead.
Yeah.
That was
You were deadly with that. Golly.
Like Kobe, I don't even flinch.
dude, it's crazy. You really are. I feel like Matt Barnes in that one game.
I got a battery-powered leaf blower.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Dude,
Yeah,
that is awesome.
It's awesome. I mean, it's maybe one of my best purchases ever.
You got yourself a Ryobi?
I got myself a DeWalt.
A DeWalt?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right,
Well,
all
I got
right.
DeWalt everything else. So
Oh, you got to stick with the
You
batteries.
exactly.
Got to stick. Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, they got me.
Yeah, they got you. Hook, line, and sinker. It happens every time.
Yeah.
And by the way, quick update on the Lakers coaching search. It will not include Jason Kidd. He just signed a multi-year extension with the Mavs.
Wow.
So after beating the LA Clippers, Kidd isn't going to the LA Lakers. Nope, he's under contract for a while with Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks, with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving and the gang out there in Dallas. So you could just go ahead and strike one name off the list. There's going to be no way.
That was my betting favorite.
Right, yeah. Well, Ty Lue is actually on the list for the Lakers, and he's currently coaching the Clippers. He's in extension talks. We'll see what happens there. Darvin Ham out, so we'll see what happens with that job opening.
Do we have those Iron Maiden tickets today? Okay, good. So coming up on the show today, your chance to win a pair of Iron Maiden tickets at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, October 4th. Concert week almost here. Concert week is here, I guess, right?
Starting on May 8th.
Starting May 8th. Almost here. $25 tickets to over 5,000 shows. That is up to 75% off on sale May 8th through the 14th. 1 week to get $25 concert and comedy tickets and fill your summer with shows. To get your tickets, go to livenation.com/concert week.
So we asked the question earlier, Padres, right? Are you cool with the Arraez trade? And here's the reason why I ask, because AJ Preller is kind of walking the plank. If he screws up this season, that's it for AJ Preller. He's no longer going to be a Padres general manager. And I don't know exactly where the bar is set, but I know if I was ownership, at very least, it would mean a playoff berth. At very least, for me, if
Where are you at with wild card round versus first round? Like, do you need to get through the wild card round in order for this to be a successful season?
Well, I know right now my line would be playoffs. Now, depending on what happens in the playoffs, my opinion could change there. But I know right now in the season, if I was the team ownership, or I was in the team ownership group and I saw what's transpired over AJ Preller's tenure as a general manager, and this is just me, maybe the ownership group feels differently. Maybe they have to make a deep run. I don't know. But I would say the playoffs is absolutely the line that we need to cross. And then we'll see what happens from there. If they get embarrassed and it's a first round bounce, I mean, that may change the complexion of things.
I might have this wrong, but I feel like the fan base is generally on the side of they need to get to the NLDS. Like, it needs to be past the wild card round. I don't think anybody at this point is thinking of division, because it just seems like there's such an imbalance in the NL West that the Dodgers are going to run away with the division. So you're forced to go through one of these wild card rounds. But if you can get through that this season, is it a success? For me personally, probably not. I think you need to be an NLCS run or else I'm making serious changes with the organization. But if the fan base is okay with an NLDS run, even though that would leave a bitter taste in your mouth, I could see that as being success for this team. But if that's the expectation here, and moving forward, we know what the cap situation is going to be in. Is the NLDS going to be the best they can get to? You can get yourself down a bad rabbit hole very quickly with this Padres team.
Yeah, I mean, my feeling is it's got to be past the wild card round. However, I did say if they make it to the playoffs, it's a success. So I don't know if that's backtracking, if that's going back my word, but it does feel like you get bounced right out of the gate. Then it was all for naught.
Well, and that's kind of the reason why I say it depends. Like I know how I feel now. I want the Padres at very least, and again, I'm trying to also put myself in the shoes of the ownership group. I know at very least I want a playoff berth at very least, but I don't know if that's going to be enough yet. I think it might be, but that's right now. I mean, it is May 6th. Like things can change, and it really depends on how this season looks. How is it working with Mike Schilt? Does he look like he's a good decision at manager? Are we going to stay with him for long term? How do we feel about AJ Preller's decision making during the season up against the trade deadline? All those things that transpire. Are those players having success? Do we feel like we're getting good return on former trades that he made? And if the answer keeps coming up no or maybe, well, then it's time, especially if they miss the postseason. So the hard line for me, if I'm a Padres owner, is they got to make the postseason. Otherwise, I have to make a move at president of baseball operations. Did he respond? Okay, cool. Yep, we do it every day. We've been off since Friday, actually.
Friday!
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, who wants to go first? TD, you want to go?
Sure. It's something I've been thinking about here. I'm mulling over the weekend as I've been watching different sports programs. Not that it's really sports related, but so like zombies, right? If a zombie bites you, you turn into a zombie.
That's right.
If a vampire bites you, you turn into a vampire.
I think I see where this is going.
If a vampire bites a zombie, is the zombie a vampire?
Zombie vampires!
So
let's make that movie. It'll work.
But also, like, at what point is sometimes a zombie eats you, and then sometimes a vampire sucks your blood.
Yeah.
And kills you. So, when do they decide, you know what? Not gonna kill this one. Is there an application I fill out?
Here's
how do I know? How does the zombie and or vampire know? I would just like this one to change into what I am.
I like where your head's at, and also have a deeper question. If one bites the other, does it change the outcome? If it's a vampire first, it gets bit by a zombie. Does that look different than if it's a zombie first and it's bit by a vampire?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'm telling you guys, if we make this movie, it will make billions of dollars.
Okay.
Zombie vampires?
Yes.
Does it start out with a vampire biting a zombie?
It starts out with two separate parts of the world, right? Maybe in America, the zombie outbreak happens because we're just lost. And then in England or somewhere more distinguished, the vampire outbreak happens because they're a little more sexy and suave, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's some transatlantic flight that's going over. And on that flight, there's a zombie and there's a vampire who turn at the same time and they bite each other, releasing a super race of zombie vampires.
They don't really need to bite each other because, the zombie, if you get its fluids in you at all, you become a zombie.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right.
So Brad Pitt is humanity's last hope.
Okay, but if the vampire bites the zombie, wouldn't he have, because he's drinking whatever the nasty blood is from the zombie? So the zombie becomes a vampire and the vampire becomes a zombie.
Oh, it's a twofer.
What did they call the dudes who are allowed to have guns on planes?
Oh, a U.S. Marshal.
Brad Pitt plays a U.S. Marshal who's on the plane where everything starts to go down. And maybe at first they think it's just in the bathroom, it's somebody trying to get to the Mile High Club, but really it's the vampire going ham on the zombie. Thus starts the international outbreak.
Wow. In the fuselage while flying.
Bingo.
Yeah, I like this idea. In fact, I see room for a sequel too, because
already?
Yeah, if you have the outbreak and it doesn't finish and then there's a little cliffhanger, you could also add in the sequel, then aliens come.
Guys, it's zompires.
Okay.
Zompires.
Zompires 1 through 10. We're ready to go. Wow. We're billionaires.
Or zombies.
Zombies isn't bad either. That might be 2.
That actually sounds like a fun toy, like a slime toy for kids. Zombies. You want to make your favorite zombies throw up? All you got to do is inject the slime into this porthole.
Yeah. Right.
Terry Crews is going to play somebody. He's going to die pretty much at the very end of the
Hang
first
on, I gotta
movie.
Google
What
Terry
A
Crews.
terrifying proposition to have Terry Crews be a vampire
why,
zombie.
Why does he have to be? Why does he have to die?
He doesn't have to. I'm just saying, if
But-
you want
but-
the emotional attachment to somebody, he's more lovable. So if you really want the movie to hit hard, he's going to have to die at the end of the
Yeah,
first one.
It's a good point. Or
Oh.
honestly, have him die at the midway point, and then have him be almost like a zombie or a vampire, like a double agent.
Yes.
Like
Oh.
he's
And then in the
wait.
second movie, like Paul Walker shows up. You're like, what? I thought he was
Nah.
dead. Nope, he's not.
oh, it's AI Paul
Yeah,
Walker.
All the AI, like dead celebrities from the past few years who've been in action movies, come
Maybe-
back in zombie
wait,
too.
Bruce Willis said that he's going to do some AI movies. Maybe AI Bruce
AI
Willis
Bruce Willis.
back as a zombie or a vampombi
What was it?
vampire or a vampire.
Either way.
A vampire. A
No, there's
vampire.
Zompire
Zompire.
or Zombie.
Oh, got it.
Ooh,
All right.
zombie.
Anyways,
Zompire.
it's a great idea.
Well,
TD.
this is
Yeah,
fantastic.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just been rattled around in my
I
head.
think
I-
we should
Like,
probably
what happens?
Yeah.
We'll pitch it to somebody big, probably Michael Bay, so he could blow everything
Okay,
up.
yeah, that's a good. Idea.
I'm gonna call Julian as soon as I'm done with my monologue, so I'll go quick. Have you guys heard of Baby Reindeer?
Oh yeah, I mean, I saw it like on Netflix.
We watched all 7 episodes within like
No.
one night
Okay.
Oh,
on
I
Saturday
didn't
night.
even know it was a show. Okay. What is
Oh,
it?
It's good.
it's hard to watch, man. It's so heartbreaking. You kind of feel bad for everybody involved, and like it's very real world. Like the dude who directs it and stars in it is the guy that this actually happened to. He was stalked by some woman, and I went on and read. I'm like, this clearly a lot of this has to be made up, right? Like he's doing this for bravado and to make the show better. I guess there was a little bit of that, but not much. It sounds like this actually happened to him, and he was super open and honest about the downfalls that he had along the way, and like how he was kind of indulging the stalker because he was lonely at the time. You feel horrible for everybody involved in this show. You feel bad for his parents. You feel bad for him. You feel bad for the relationship he's in at the time he was being stalked. You feel bad for the stalker. Like it is some excellent television. Highly recommend it, but get ready to just feel kind of empty inside by the time you're done with it.
I am 1000% out.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
Dude, it's
I
really
don't want
good.
any part of this.
It sounds like a huge bummer though.
Yeah,
It's really good, and it is a huge bummer. And if you want like something to emotionally affect you in a TV show, which is I think what we all go for when we start a TV
No,
show,
Not at all.
this is it.
I'll tell you what, most of the time when I pick a TV show these days, it's like something that either I can laugh at or forget about immediately. Like I rarely want to watch something that is going to like trouble me or keep me up at night or
But
make
here's the
me
thing,
think too hard.
Like I have a pretty strict bedtime. You guys know I'm done at 8:30 most
Yeah,
nights, and
yeah.
that includes weekends. Like if I'm not doing something out with people, I'm out at 8:30. We stayed up till 1 in the morning watching this because it was that good and
Wow.
that gripping.
wow.
For my monologue, actually it's similar. It's on the same bent as Fletch. It's a recommendation, a show rec. You got to watch this Netflix re-airing of the greatest roast of all time. It was good. It was solid. Look, there's a lot of crossover moments in entertainment where they try to include a lot of sports stars and celebrities and comedians in other ventures, and it just doesn't work. It's clunky. It's awful. This worked. This was funny. It was entertaining from start to finish. I mean, there were ebbs and flows. Obviously, some of the sports stars who were on the stage on the dais for the Tom Brady roast, they weren't as funny as the comedians, but they really held up. It was actually fun to watch.
I look forward to watching this one. This one I'm definitely in on. I just didn't get to watch it because we've been watching so much Selling the OC or whatever it is.
Real estate shows.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, but
Big
that,
time.
but
Big.
that's a lane for a lot of people.
Listen.
Like I said, it's bubble gum.
Well,
Like you could just
By the
chew
way-
it and spit it out, and you don't even remember.
I'm telling you, and every single agent that works at this place are a piece.
Which is a perfect segue to our guests on our show this morning. To catch everybody up to what happened a little while ago, we got a random text message one day, and it might have been on a therapy Thursday. We got a text message, and it was from a gentleman who was asking, hey, listen, I go to a jujitsu class, and there is a smoke show, like a smoking hot chick in this class. I went up to her, and I asked her out, and she said, let me think about it. And he was asking us, what should I do? Is that a yes or a no? I have questions. I need answers. And so we helped him through the first couple of questions he had on the text line. But then we're like, we need to have this guy on the show. So we welcomed him on the show. He came on. His name's Julian. And he explained to us that, yeah, like it was a hard pass at first. But then we said, well, Julian, we invite you and this dime piece from the jiu-jitsu class onto our show, and we'll have a candlelit dinner at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he said, all right, man, I'll go and I'll ask her. And so he did. And she said, no, thank you. No chance at all. So that's where the show left off with Julian.
Right.
But then there's been an update since. So now, with no further ado, we welcome on Julian back, our friend, Jiu-Jitsu Julian.
What's up, guys?
Okay,
What's going on,
Good
Julian?
morning. So, Julian, I set it up, and I'm very curious as there's a tornado siren going on behind you.
Are you okay?
Are you in peril, Julian?
Dude, I'm working right now.
Okay, very good,
Wow.
very good.
Was that? Wait, do you work where Fred Flintstone works?
Yeah.
Was that the Brontosaurus whistle?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Hey, really quick, what line of business are you in? What kind of work are you?
I work for the trash,
Nice.
trash, whatever, and I'm changing out broken trash parts right now.
Right on.
Right.
We got a mechanic
Hardworking man.
on a trash truck, man. That's a good job. It's good living if you can hack it. So, Julian, we set it all up. We got everybody up to date on where we're at with the jiu-jitsu girl. So give us the full update though, since we've offered the dinner, the candlelit 7 a.m. dinner here in studio. Did you go back to her and invite her, and how did that conversation go?
It was just another hard no when I asked her again. I didn't bring up the dinner you guys were offering. I was like, "You just want to go out again?" And she said no. So it is what it is. Yeah.
Well, a mistake on your part, Julian. That's fine. Yeah. You should have brought up the dinner at 7 a.m.
I told my buddies in the class, and they're like, "I don't know, you should do that, buddy."
What?
I kind of followed their advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So I mean,
your friends are idiots, Julian. I'm sorry.
That's right. So, but now your lovely lady that you were trying to pursue.
Well, tell us about her. What's she up to now? She turns you down.
What does she smell like?
Yeah.
That was weird.
For the really curious gentleman in the audience, what does she smell like, Julian?
Like fucking flowers.
Yeah. So we can't say that word on the air.
We can't say that word.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, flowers is okay.
Oh, I thought it was. Yeah, I thought flowers.
The other F word.
Oh, okay.
The other F word you can't say. But yeah, she does smell like effing flowers. Yeah. Well, man, Julian, you are smitten here.
Yeah, dude.
Over a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so she. So we got what she smells like.
So she says no.
Yeah.
You told her she's like a 10. And
pretty hot.
Yeah. And like, so she says no to you. So like, you guys still go to the jiu-jitsu class together?
Yeah, man. And she's like dating this cop there now.
Okay. Wait a second.
Wait
a second. So
a cop jiu-jitsu guy?
So yeah.
Okay.
So, like, are you all in the same class together?
Yeah, I see them pretty like 2 or 3 times a week.
Damn it.
Wait, hold on. Are you able to challenge the cop jiu-jitsu fighter?
Dude, I'm like a foot taller than this guy.
Okay, hang on.
She likes the short kings out there. So that's a win for the short fellas. Look, I mean, that's not great for you, Julian. Now, okay, give me your stats because we know she's a 10. Like
he's like, I'm 5'6".
Well, yeah.
He's 4'6".
Yeah. Like how what's your height, weight, what's your general?
I'm like 6'4". I'm like 212 right now.
Okay, so you're
a
tall drink of water.
Fit. Yeah, 6'4".
On the handsomeness scale, what would you say? Like, where would you rate yourself out of 10?
A 10.
What? Wait,
Jesus. Okay. And by the way, write down confident. Write down confident.
I'm putting confident. I got 6'4", 212, confident.
Okay.
Julia, watch out when they ask you this stuff. They end up signing you up for a grannyzone.com account. I've been down this road before.
No.
Stop it, Flex.
No. We're
That's
starting
bad.
our own dating site specifically for Julian.
Yeah. Okay. So, Julian, what color are your eyes?
Brown.
Okay, brown eyes.
Brown
I'm
eyes.
assuming brown hair.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, like, what's your ethnicity? Like, what's your
Latino.
Latino. Okay. Do we have a 6'4", 212 Latino?
I mean, golly, I hope Sarah's not listening.
Yeah. Tall, dark, handsome.
The funny thing is, when I went to a coffee shop, and they were on a date there.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's how
God.
I found out.
Dude,
Wow.
Okay, so this is what you need to do because this is what happened with Tom Brady and Giselle. So what you need to do is you need to put this dude in a rear naked choke in front of her because I'm pretty sure that's what broke up Brady's marriage.
Wait.
They invited a jujitsu fighter or a coach to their house, and you know what happened.
Rich, this is a cop, though.
Wait. Oh, it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
I might say
hold on.
it's time to find a hotter girl than her, bring the hotter girl to the jujitsu class and make her jealous.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Is there like an 11 at the jiu-jitsu class that maybe you could ask out on a morning dinner date?
Nah, bro, she's probably the hottest chick there.
Damn it.
You're not making this easy.
Is this do you have to wear like the karate gi or is this no gi?
Yeah, I gotta wear a gi.
You got to wear gi. So, okay, let me ask this question. Are there times where do you get to roll with the hot chick who's now dating the cop?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I still talk to her.
Okay, all right. So you guys are friendly.
It's cool.
Like
Yeah.
when you roll with her, does it feel romantic or is it just business?
Those are inside shots. I don't say that.
Okay,
All right. No. Just
Listen, I'm just saying, Julian, like, okay, so if somebody was in your position where they were interested in another jiu-jitsu player who happened to be a smoking hot chick, like, would that person maybe get a little excited when it was their turn to roll with that hot chick?
I could see that happening,
Yeah,
but it hasn't happened to me.
Yeah, of course not.
no,
I mean,
you're a professional.
dude, you're
Yeah.
not a creep. And look, keep those. Yeah, and I'm sure that person would keep their thoughts to themselves. But like, are there times like maybe when that person goes home and they're bored or they can't fall asleep and maybe that thought comes rattling around the head and they're like, well, nobody's looking.
Yeah, man.
All right. Wait, hold on. What? Wait, so
my own home.
Yeah, of course. Not you wouldn't go to the dojo.
Julian, is there any other girl that you would maybe have your eye on, or maybe it's someone who has their eye on you, but you just don't see them because you are so focused in on the other piece that you don't see that the girl with glasses who's gonna go hang out with her friends and they're gonna like do her makeup and she's gonna become real beautiful, and then finally you're gonna see like, oh my god, I actually love this girl the whole time and she's loved me the whole time and now we're gonna get together. Is there that girl that maybe you'd want to bring in the studio here for a morning dinner date?
I could probably see. Yeah, there's some other chicks there.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
listen, I'll tell you what. Also, I just want to let you know there are other ponds. There are other ponds to fish in. Like you don't have to find all of your dates at jiu-jitsu class. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna guess. Like, man, if you expand your horizons, you may realize like, once I got outside of this thought that I could only date chicks from jiu-jitsu, things got better.
It turns out there's more than 6 women on Earth. Yeah. Now, well, how about this, Julian? Would you like to set up like we pick the person for you, and then it's kind of a blind date situation here in studio?
Yeah, because we got some measurables on you.
Yeah, we have
6'4", 212, confident, 10 out of 10 on the attractiveness scale. Brown hair, brown eyes, Latino gentleman, tall, dark, handsome. I feel like we could probably set you up pretty quick.
But like you would have to give us like, some of what you're into, which we could do off the air.
Yeah, I'm down, bro.
Okay.
Done
All
deal.
right.
Done
Okay.
deal.
All right. Well, we have your number here. We're gonna put you on hold real quick so we can get your stats of what you're looking for, and we're gonna set this thing up. And I mean, I'd say by this time next year, married.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
it'll be our
bet.
first Big Rich TD and Fletch marriage. Hey, Julian, thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, man. Later.
There he goes, Julian.
Yeah, wow.
By the way, also stable job.
Yeah, very
working,
stable.
Working for the city, collecting trash.
Good. Dude, good.
Big deal.
Wow.
This is a big deal. Hey, listen, it's always nice to talk to a real man, like a guy who's out in the field. You know what I mean? He's flexing his muscles. He's emptying dumpsters. He's doing things. He's working with his hands. And, that's what I needed to get back to. I needed to become a man again. I really had to reconnect with my roots. And I didn't realize how far off the track or off the trail I had gone. But I went over to the man zone and I got my testosterone tested. I didn't even realize I was going to be low on testosterone. I gave them a list of symptoms I was feeling, things like tired, sluggish, feeling like low energy throughout the day, feeling like I couldn't catch up, like I was drinking so much coffee. I was like wearing out the coffee pot, right? Things like that. I wouldn't immediately think, oh, low testosterone. Those aren't the things that you hear about in a lot of advertisements, but those were my experiences. Well, so I go into the Man Zone, and Dr. Roy David said, no, listen, there's a lot of people who, as early as their late 30s, start experiencing some of these things. They have no idea that low testosterone is affecting them. So let's get you tested. Chances are your testosterone is going to be fine, and we'll just move on. He was like, but if there's a chance it's low, we can help you. Well, I went in, I got tested, found out I was on the low end of average. And he was like, dude, you're a perfect candidate for this. Of course, he said it more professionally than that, but that's the way I'm conveying it to you. So anyways, I signed up with the Man Zone. I start with testosterone replacement therapy. And the cool thing about this therapy is you feel good immediately. Like you immediately realize there was a puzzle piece missing. And as soon as you have that puzzle piece in place, you start feeling better fast. I mean, look, obviously the symptoms aren't limited to the ones I was feeling. I mean, certain people have trouble in the bedroom and they're ashamed of it, right? Don't be. Talk to Dr. Roy David and his team. They are going to help you. It doesn't matter what your issues are. If you're in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, especially if you're getting up there in age, your testosterone, it's science. It's going down every single year. So you got to talk to the team over at the Man Zone and they'll get you right. Check them out at themanzone.com. That's themanzone.com. And if you do it right now and you mention Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, you mentioned you heard it on this show, you save $50 on your first testosterone treatment. Do not wait. Go to the Man Zone today. Book your first appointment at themanzone.com.
The question of the day, are you happy with what the Padres are doing? Are you here for the now, or are you worried about the future with the moves they're making? Hit us up on the talkback mic. While you're listening on the free iHeartRadio app, you'll see the microphone there, lower left-hand side, right-hand side, actually. Click that mic. Send us a message. It's a voicemail right here to Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760.
This update is presented by Duthie Power Services. Padres over the weekend won 2 out of 3 against the D-backs, taking the series on their way to Chicago. They'll be playing against the Cubs for the next 3 days. 2 big storylines. Padres made a trade for Luis Arraez, a career 325 hitter since his debut in 2019. Also, Joe Musgrove placed on the IL yesterday with elbow inflammation. In the NBA playoffs, Cavs took Game 7 from the Magic. They officially end the first round of the postseason. Second round already gets going. T-Wolves beat Denver 106-99 on Saturday. Couple games coming up tonight. Knicks, Pacers, games 1, and Timberwolves, Nuggets, game 2 in their series. Kentucky Derby, Mystic Dan wins it. Photo finish, 18-1 odds. Tired of the threat of power shutoffs due to wildfires, severe weather, or electrical grid failures? Climate extremes and aging infrastructure make backup generators essential. Duthie Power Services has been San Diego's generator expert for nearly 60 years. Go to duthiepower.com.
Woo! Rolling through a Monday, quickly rolling through a Monday. It's flying by here. Coming up on the show a little bit later today, your chance to win a pair of tickets to Iron Maiden at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, October 4th. Concert week almost here, just a couple days away. $25 tickets to over 5,000 shows. That's up to 75% off, on sale May 8th through the 14th. 1 week to get $25 concert and comedy tickets and fill your summer with shows. To get your tickets, go to livenation.com/concert week. Feel like we got a love connection brewing here, and I don't even know who it is yet.
Well, we will know soon because we've been tasked.
Yeah,
I guess you could say. We got greenlit for finding Julian a date.
Man.
So we're gonna play matchmaker.
Are we gonna wear tuxedos?
Yep. Yep. And I'll tell you what, there have been times in the past where we said it and we didn't gussy up and pony up for the rental. But if we're throwing a date in studio, We're going to hire a camera crew.
Yes.
We're going to rent tuxedos.
Yes.
We're going to serve them a 5-course meal.
Yes.
And
we're going to do it with the help of Dominic Giamacareno. Dom, you listening?
Yes, because we're going to need you involved because we ain't paying for any of this. We need a tuxedo shop. We need somebody who can make a steak at 7 a.m.
Wait, Frank.
Oh, Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank from the Remy?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Wow.
There's no better human being than that man. Have you ever seen his mustache? I have.
Oh, my goodness.
Majestic.
Wait a minute, though. We got to be careful because let's just say we're trying to set up the love connection, right? And then Frank the Tank walks in.
Yeah.
What if the date falls in love with Frank the Tank?
That's a risk we have to take.
Okay.
I mean, the stakes are so good. Maybe she'll fall in love with the food and then ipso facto fall in love with Julian. But if Frank ends up walking away with the date, I still feel like as matchmakers, we'd be batting 1,000. We just hadn't done it for the guy we were hoping to do
That's
it for.
true. That's true.
That's all.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm willing to throw the die here.
And by the way,
Roll the die.
And this is go to the Remy. Try the food. I remember when we went to the Remy and Frank did it up for us. That was an unbelievable.
Oh my
visit.
gosh, we were there for 4 hours.
Yeah, and he sat with us the entire time. He was like, "This is the best day of my life."
Yep.
I remember him saying that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I caught up with JP Morosi yesterday. MLB Insider had a chat with him.
That means he was cheating on us.
Guys, okay, I was not.
Doing that.
I was just
It's like a weekly
no.
cheater.
Stop it.
What, are we not enough for you?
No, listen.
Jeez.
All I was doing was just having a chat with some friends. That's all. And JP Morosi was there. And JP Morosi, who's a friend of this show too, by the way, he comes on our show.
Like once.
No, maybe.
What?
Anyways, he had a lot to say about Luis Arraez. He had a lot to say about AJ Preller and what this season means to his career with the San Diego Padres. You want to start with the Arraez clip?
Yeah, can we have a three-way conversation
Yeah,
about that
yeah,
for a
sure.
second?
Yeah,
because I listened to you and Steve and JP yesterday, and I thought it was great, but he pronounces it Arraez, which I think is probably how you're supposed to. Don Orsillo just says Arise, and I think I'm somewhere in the middle. How do you guys want to say his name? Can we give him a nickname? Because Arraez it's no offense, it's a lot of work every single time we say it.
Arraez.
TD can't even roll his R's.
I can't. I can roll my R's.
I like doing it.
Arraez.
Arraez.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I feel like when it's properly said, it's like Arraez. Like there's not like
Arraez?
Arraez.
Arraez. I don't know. I like to really emphasize Arraez. Yeah. And also, it's 6 de Mayo.
That's
So
true.
It feels
True.
like
Seis de Cinco.
I don't even know
Cinco de
if he's
seis.
from Mexico.
Cinco de
It
seis.
does not matter to me.
No.
I just love saying anything with a Spanish accent.
Okay.
Like, yo tengo, or I guess, yo tengo una margarita.
Yo quiero bailar.
You want one margarita?
Oh, or I had one last night. I don't know how to speak in past tense. I'm still on Duolingo.
Dua Lipa?
No.
What?
That's a singer. I'm on the Spanish learning app. Anyways, here is JP Morosi talking about Arraez.
He brings something. He is a unique player in baseball because of exactly what you're describing, the modern zeitgeist of launch angle, hitting it in the air, being okay with the swing and miss. How many times are we watching big games in October or even big games in May where the decisive element is the inability of a team to score or even just make contact with a runner on third, less than 2 out, move the runner, keep an inning going. These are things that Arraez is an expert in. And so I think in so many ways, even though the Padre lineup did not necessarily need a second baseman, I think the idea is he'll be part of a 3-player rotation of sorts at that spot. Of course, Cronenworth can play first. Arraez can also play first or second, but they want his bat.
JP's doing too much with it.
Do you think so?
I think so.
Can we just isolate the name one time? I feel like that's the important part of this.
I really love the way. I mean, he doesn't even stumble. Like he goes,
No.
Luis Arraez.
Oh, you did pretty good.
I'm
that
just
was-
learning from listening to him.
Arraez.
He really nails it.
You just do like one R roll?
I think, Arraez.
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 I
Yeah,
did it.
yeah, that's the
That was
one.
pretty
That's the
good.
one. That's the
That
one.
was pretty solid.
And like when JP says it flows.
Arraez can also
Oh, he did it like it's almost 2 or 3.
Arraez.
Arraez can
Arraez. God, he does it
Arraez.
so easy.
So
JP's way wider than any of the three of us.
Oh yeah, he lives in Michigan. He went to Harvard. Like, I mean, JP's as white as they come. Like, as white. But you know what? So are we. I think that's okay to embrace your culture, but also have respect for others. And that's the reason why we want to say Reyes with as thick of an accent as we can, because Luis. I mean, dude, this is a real statement. A trade like this could change the trajectory of your season, because it's not just what his bat brings to the lineup. It's also like what it means to the franchise, what it means to the players in the clubhouse. It's like, no. We're backing what we're doing here. We are all in. Doesn't matter that we went on a recent 5-game skid. We believe in you guys.
And it's when you bring a little just juice, that all of a sudden you ramp up the offense a little bit. You boost some confidence. You bring some a new face into the dugout, and maybe a new voice, that's bringing you up. And if all of a sudden you start stringing together wins,
dude,
here we go,
dude.
You're right.
You're hitting the ground running. And speaking of which, I want to talk to you about the Good Feet store. And we have another JP Morosi clip we're going to play on the other side. He had something to say about AJ Preller this season and what it means for his career with the Padres. So we'll get you that sound in just a few minutes. But yeah, the Good Feet store, it's kept me running, right? I was in bad shape leaving my NFL career in terms of injuries, lower back pain every single day. Virtually every single day, I'd wake up with lower back pain, knee pain, the hip pain was coming on. I was meeting with orthopedic surgeons about the hip pain. I was getting MRIs done. I actually canceled a second MRI appointment because I started wearing the arch supports from the Good Feet store, and I noticed changes in the way I was feeling. At first, the back pain melted away, and then it was the ankle pain that really subsided, and the knee pain, and then the hip pain went away as well. And I was feeling better, and I was actually still a little skeptical. I'm like, can I trust it? Is it going to return? And it hasn't. So that's what I suggest for anybody who is starting going down that path where they feel like they've exhausted every option and they feel like surgery is the only way to fix what they're dealing with. Don't go that route. You don't want to. That should be a last resort. Try the Good Feet store first. It's worked for so many people. And when I say thousands, I mean thousands of happy customers walking out of there feeling like they have a new lease on life. And when you buy Good Feet store, you buy local because their manufacturing plant is right here in Carlsbad, California. So it's a can't miss if you're somebody who struggles with lower body joint pain. So if your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your back is bugging you, it's time to go to the Good Feet store. And the weather's warming up. You're going to want to be on your feet all summer long, hanging out with the kids, running around with the grandkids, spending time with the nieces and nephews, going to theme parks, going to the beach, walking the boardwalk. Wherever you're going, the Good Feet store arch support should be under your feet. Start your journey at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. We've got that awesome Live Nation Concert Week giveaway coming up on the show. Give you some of those Iron Maiden tickets. You just got to keep listening to the show. We teased it, and we're going to pay off the tease really quick here. JP Morosi was talking to him yesterday. He had a lot to say about the Padres. The Padres with the biggest trade, the splashiest trade of the Major League Baseball season so far. Look, it's early May, so there's a lot of things that can happen up until the trade deadline, but AJ Preller strikes again, gets Luis Reyes from the Marlins in trade for some of the Padres' top prospects. Here's what JP Morosi said when I asked him about AJ Preller's future with the Padres and how important this season is.
You know, it's a great question. And obviously, with the passing of the late, great Peter Seidler, you do wonder if maybe there will be a different focus for the organization moving forward, even irrespective of the results this particular year. And when you look at this club and the roster, they've been going for it for a long time. And they've had this hyperactive sense of moves and always being involved in everything for a long time. And if spending at this level doesn't work, and if they miss the playoffs for a second straight year, I'll say this: it would not surprise me if they make a change at their chief baseball officer because of where the organization is likely going. Do they end up spending a little bit less money in the future, going to more of a younger homegrown model as opposed to all the trades and all the spending they've done? You look at this club and how many of their everyday players, with the obvious exception of Merrill and Camposano, are guys that came out through the farm system. They've moved. They brought in a lot of players from elsewhere, and I think that has worked to an extent. They of course made it to the NLCS in 22, but if they miss the playoffs the second straight year, I do think, Rich, that there will be a lot of questions asked about AJ Preller's future now.
So he mentions Peter Seidler. His passing changes things organizationally, obviously. And he also mentioned the fact that if they miss the playoffs, you have to assume they're going to obviously start turning over every single stone to decide where the blame should be placed for missing the postseason with a team that seems like it's playoff ready. So AJ Preller is a common denominator here. And if you move on from him, that is a huge shift in the culture and the Padres, because it's been this way for a decade.
Yeah, no, I agree. And at the end of last season, I was saying, look, it's probably time to cut ties with AJ Preller. Here's the problem. Do you guys feel like AJ Preller is doing a bad job putting together this team this season?
Here's yes, and here's why. So what's missing from this team is culture. And the only way you can have culture is if you keep people together for long enough to have culture. I mean, if you look around the coaches on the Padres roster, it's a revolving list of names. They have hired and fired coaches around this team so many times over. Managers, we're on to our fifth one in AJ Preller's 10 years as the GM and president of baseball operations. Roster turnover, probably more than any other team in the NL West.
How often does a general manager get to hire this many managers? The answer is never.
Never.
Mm-hmm. AJ Preller is also the third longest tenured general manager going in baseball right now.
My biggest criticism of the Padres is they very rarely draft a guy, develop a guy, bring him to the major league roster as an untested player, develop him further, and then have him be a part of the core of what makes a team special. It hasn't happened in Preller's tenure. What he does, and he's great at it, is he builds the farm system and he gives away prospects to bring in major league ready talent. And he hopes that the combination of talents is going to meld together and create a culture. But that's so difficult. This isn't a chia pet. This is a clubhouse. You can't just put seeds on, the bald head and add water and then it will grow into something special. It's like all of a sudden it was an afro 6 weeks later. It's like, no, that's not how this works. Like cha-cha-cha-chia. Like just because you brought in Xander Bogaerts doesn't mean all of a sudden we're going to have a green poodle.
Yeah, no, I get it. I just look at what he was tasked with, and he was tasked with shaving nearly $100 million off of the budget here, and he still somehow put together a team that looks better than it did when it was $100 million more. So that's where I go, well, I mean, tip of the hat to AJ Preller, whether or not it's going to work. And we still at the end of the season go, nope, still sucked. You still somehow figure out how to put pieces on this team that we as fans go, right on.
In the regular season.
In the regular season.
See, I still feel, and this may just be a completely off take from me, I still feel like last year's team would have a better shot in the postseason than this year's team does.
Well, yeah, well, I agree. But I look at last year's team, look at the superstars on the team. And then, okay, this season, all of a sudden there's games where they can score some runs. I mean, they put runs on the board, which we didn't see a lot last season. However, last season, the pitching was real good. Real good.
Yeah, but hang on a second. I mean, you're saying a lot there. Look at the Padres' record. I mean,
oh yeah.
I mean, like
they're one game out of 500
yeah,
still.
like I mean, TD, I get what you're saying, but this team is a 500 baseball team. Like, I'm not getting all like excited. I'm like, oh wow,
this is as average as you can possibly be.
They're playing average at best baseball right now. And yes, they added Luis Arraez, and it should get better from here. But I am not excited about the direction of this ball club until proven otherwise. Like AJ Preller, for him to be a general manager that was promised to us, for this to be the team that we're promised, he has to win a championship.
Yeah. I'll tell you where we win a championship is losing weight. You know, oh wow. I say the words and the top is popped from Ben Fletcher. Unbelievable. But I tell you what,
handsome boy.
Yeah, I mean, real handsome.
And svelte.
Yeah. And brown. Whoa.
I'll tell you what, he's showing a little butt cheek. He's like the copper tone baby.
You know why he's showing it, though? Is because those pants are barely staying on, because he decided with SD fat loss, he was going to jump back on board.
Look at that.
Wow.
I can see his wiener.
and it is.
And so can he, which is the most important thing.
And when he sees it, it's like an inch and a half, more than it was before we started SD fat loss.
Every 30 pounds you go down, you gain an inch somewhere else.
#science. Read it in an editorial by Dr. Oz.
That's right.
Look, if you are looking to add an inch and want to drop 30 pounds, you can do it with SD fat loss. Call up Wayne and Chloe. They're going to walk you through the thing. In fact, go to sdfatloss.com. You'll find all the information there. There's a consultation they'll set up with you. It's absolutely free, but they'll sit down with you. They'll explain the program. They'll give you expectations, and those expectations are going to be 20 to 30 pounds gone in 8 weeks' time. In fact, it's going to go even quicker than that. I guarantee you, as long as you follow along with this thing, because that's what happened with us. Within 4 weeks' time, I think I was down 28 pounds. I ended up after 8 weeks being down 31 pounds. And the beauty of it is I've kept that weight off. And
super hot.
Yeah, super hot. 1 more inch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? sdfatloss.com. That's where you go. And guess what? If you're thinking, oh man, I wish there was some kind of deal. There is. Just mention Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, and you're going to save $200 with SD Fat Loss. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. You got summertime right around the corner here, and you want to look good in that bikini. You want to look good in that Speedo. You want to look good out on Black's Beach or wherever you don't wear nothing. I don't know. Whatever it is.
Dogs out.
Yeah. SDFatLoss.com. Dogs out.
We're number 3, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by Duffy Power Services. Starting off with the Padres. Over the weekend, they won 2 out of 3 against the D-backs, taking their series. Now it's on to Chicago. They got the Cubs for the next 3 days. Luis Arias, now a Padre. Padres made a trade for him on Saturday. Career .325 hitter. Joe Musgrove heading to the IL yesterday. He has elbow inflammation. NBA playoffs, Cavs take Game 7 from the Magic. They advance to the second round, which gets going more so today. Nuggets and Timberwolves will be playing Game 2 after T-Wolves won Game 1. Knicks and Pacers playing their first game. Businesses in Southern California have turned to generator experts at Duffy Power Services for nearly 60 years. Duffy can assist with all your generator needs, commercial and industrial, including maintenance, rentals, and purchase and installation. To secure backup power for your business, go to DuffyPower.com.
Oh, happy Monday to those who celebrate. Oh, yes. Happy Seis de Mayo to all.
Cinco de Seis.
Cinco de Seis.
Cinco de
Yes,
Seis.
the 5th of the 6th.
Yeah.
5th month, 6th day. It makes sense.
It does.
Yeah, it does, but not.
Well, either
Yeah.
way. You know what I did last night? Let me show you. So right before.
What'd you do? What we got?
Literally, so I got home from LA. We're visiting. We had a graduation party to go to. Saw my nephew Ben graduate, and then we came home and I poured myself one of these. Check this out.
Whoa. What you got?
Little margarita.
Margarita. I can only see a glass getting filled.
Yeah.
What, did you make everything yourself, or was it like a pre-mix thing?
No, it was so I did what we saw all day long on Bar Car Friday.
Right.
By the way, brought to you by Keg and Bottle, 10 locations around San Diego. We had at least one margarita, fresh lime juice, a little bit of that orange liqueur.
Yeah.
A little Grand Marnier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A sprinkling of salt. I always add a little bit of salt to the shaker
To make it pop.
it pop.
There has to be a Friday this summer where we
Tequila?
do this, but it's a long-standing tradition with me and Kendall. Once she gets off school, we spend an entire day, usually on a Friday, out by the pool when it's a beautiful San Diego day, and we do margaritas all day long.
Okay.
Can you guys come over to my pool? We'll take it over for a day,
Okay.
and we're gonna sit out there and drink margaritas all day long.
Yeah.
100%.
Is today not a good day?
It has to be a Friday. It's got to be when the girls are out of school.
yeah,
It's got to be when the kids are out of school. You guys bring the whole family. We'll have a whole party out by my pool.
That does
Oy.
sound awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I'm way in.
Yeah.
Wait.
We got charcoal grills up there. TD's in charge.
So that's a yes.
Sweet.
Yeah, we will for sure be doing that. And dude, I'm telling you, there are times where you impress yourself. I had that moment where I was like, wow, that is a damn good margarita. I mean, these Bar Car Fridays are really starting to rub off.
There's a trick I do with my margaritas where I actually put the entire lime into the blender, not just the lime juice, the whole lime
With the peel?
rind. Yes, the
So-
whole thing.
But
Whoa.
hold on now. You don't put any like sulfates or anything in it to break down the peel?
No, it gets blended.
Yeah, but aren't they in little tiny chunks?
Yeah, that's good on the way down. It adds a little texture to it.
That's
I don't think that,
interesting.
think that's
I'm telling
good
you, it's good.
margarita. I don't
Kendall
know.
doesn't like it. I like it.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone. In fact, everybody hates them except for me.
No,
Because
there's
the
some
peels
hot
are so
girl on
bitter.
TikTok who did it once, and I was like, I should do that. And I tried it. It's good. It adds a
Huh.
little extra flavor to it.
Well, so anybody who celebrated yesterday and you're waking up with a hangover this morning, I'm sorry. But listen, the show must go on. And if you missed it, during your party weekend, the Padres made a move. So Saturday was the debut of Luis Arraez. He is now DHing for the Padres. Maybe he'll end up in the infield somewhere. He got 4 hits in his debut, a Padres record. That's never happened before.
Career 325 hitter. You can't argue with numbers. He's been in the league since 2019, and he's hit 325 over his career.
Dude, he's an incredible ball player, and he's a little bit of what we've been asking for around here in San Diego. He's kind of a singles hitter. He's gonna pepper the outfield. He's gonna get on base constantly, and he did that on Saturday.
And he got that smile, man. He brings a certain level of like just amp to the team, and I like it a lot. Now, there's question marks about what do you do with this now 3-headed beast you have between first, second base, and DH. Because let's face it, there's going to be someone who's going to get the short end of the stick, and I don't think it's the guy who's hit 325 over his career. No. So between Jake Cronenworth and Xander Bogaerts, you enter into a little bit of an audition phase right now of who's going to have a better month to decide how this 3-headed beast is going to work its way out.
What does it feel like in your gut? Or what does your gut tell you what happens here?
Okay, so Jake Cronenworth, kind of a sneaky stat that people haven't talked about as much. He's barreling the ball, and he has been since the start of this season. Xander Bogaerts, his hit rate or his velocity off the bat has been the lowest it's been in his entire career. So if you listen to the nerd numbers, it's kind of a clear and end discussion. However, if you listen to the paychecks, Xander Bogaerts has to play, and they have to figure out a way to work him through this. Yeah. My guess would be this is the 3 you see. One of them is going to DH. The other 2 will be in the field. That's it for the rest of the year.
Yeah, no, I agree with all that. And what a crappy place to be in, actually, trying to figure out what you do in that situation.
You can't not play Xander unless you move him.
No, you either trade him or you stick with him. And trading him is going to be difficult because he came in
damn near impossible with that contract.
Yeah, you sign him to this huge contract, and he's underplayed it the whole way he's been a Padre. Who knows? Maybe he figures it out this season. It took Blake Snell a little while to knock off some of the rough edges after being traded from the Rays to the Padres. And when he settled in, he started looking like Blake Snell, Cy Young caliber pitcher, obviously won it last year. So
what sucks though is we forget how good Xander Bogaerts was. As a Red Sox, he was otherworldly. Like Family Guy has an episode about Xander Bogaerts. Like he was that good. He crossed the line between pop culture and sports in baseball. And Xander Bogaerts, he was an MVP candidate for years in Boston. And then he comes over to San Diego and he just hasn't found it yet. But you got to hope that he does.
With the DH, though, in the National League, there's room on this roster for hitters. Now, I don't know if you want your DH to be a singles hitter. So, Xander, boy. But it would
you
also...
can't take Jake Cronenworth's glove out of the infield. No. He's too damn good.
Yeah, here's the deal. It's just going to be, honestly, this is what I think is going to happen with the DH position for the Padres. And a lot of teams use it this way, and the Padres kind of have since the institution of the DH position. They haven't really had a DH. They just used it as almost like a light day for their lineup guys. So if Machado isn't feeling like 100%, or Fernando, or Luis Arraez, anybody, all of a sudden you want to give a guy a blow, but you still want his bat in the lineup. That's good.
Now let me float this out there to you guys, because Kevin mentioned it in his first article on the trade. Kevin AC, UT, Padres insider, best friend, all those things.
Yeah.
But Kevin mentioned that there was a potential.
First,
he also said it first.
So Jerks and Profar has been incredible for the Padres so far this season. But if you're trusting the back of the baseball card, like we always talk about, there's going to be a fall off for Jerks and Profar coming. Could you see a world where they try to move Arraez into left field?
It's possible. It is possible. Look, I mean, they've done it with virtually every player on this roster. If you're an infielder, you become an outfielder at some point.
And they're all shortstops. Jackson Merrill, shortstop. Fernando Tatis Jr., shortstop. Jerks and Profar used to be a utility man infielder. They don't have an outfielder on this team.
So it wouldn't make a terrible... unless his glove is completely unreliable to the point where he can't play a corner infield, but that's where you store bats in the corner positions and in the outfield. So look, it makes sense to me. We'll see what the Padres want to do there. I'm curious what everybody else thinks though, right? So talkback feature wide open. If you're listening, you could leave us a 20 to 30 second message on what you think of the Arraez trade. The Padres making the splashiest trade in the Major League Baseball season so far. Or you could text us 70470, start your message with team, and let us know. I think this is a signal to me that says more about the front office than it does about the club. Now, there's no question the Padres are underperforming if their goal is to make the playoffs. I think there's no question that's the goal. The goal is to win championships. We heard from the former owner, the 2020s are about Padres winning championships.
Yeah,
he said plural. He pluralized it.
I mean, he ain't here.
I understand that. Peter Seidler is now unfortunately not alive anymore. So what we're left with is a front office, management, ownership that may feel differently about the 2020s, but I still feel the same. And I think AJ Preller understands that he needs to feel the same way, because if he doesn't get to the postseason, if he doesn't have a deep run in the postseason, potentially it's his last opportunity with the Padres this season. So I think this trade says more about maybe a little bit of the panic that set in when AJ Preller witnessed that 5-game losing streak the Padres just went on, where they sunk 3 games under 500. And he realized if we dig ourselves too deep of a hole right now, all of a sudden, maybe I don't even make it to the end of the season. Maybe a hard decision comes because all of a sudden Petco Park starts emptying out. Maybe if the trade deadline comes and I say, hey, I want to do this, this, and this, ownership says, absolutely not with this record. We're going to tear this thing down so we can rebuild later on.
And that's my favorite part about this trade is he didn't wait for the trade deadline for those conversations to start. You're getting a rise for now 80% of the season versus 50% of the season.
True.
Because you're getting him this early on. You're paying him nothing. In fact, you saved around $800,000 by making this trade. And so everything seems a little positive here. Who knows what the 4 guys you sent away will ever turn out into? Maybe they're going to be great. Maybe it's going to be a CJ Abrams all over again where they're legitimate MVP candidates. Maybe not. And you get this for 1 year. It's a 1-year rental for a rise. Who knows what's going to happen after that? But for that 1 year, you're paying him nothing, and he's a 325 hitter.
Do you feel like they're going to spend that $800,000 somewhere else?
No.
I mean, then who cares what they saved? I don't know, whatever.
It's just you're not paying him.
Yeah,
That's kind of the point. It's you're not hurting yourself against the CBT or anything. You're paying him virtually nothing for him to be here. And if he's hitting 325 for 80% of your season and you're getting him for $500,000, bonus.
I get all of that. It's just when we talk about, how much they saved or how much it costs, I understand it's good stats. It sounds good. But as a fan, does that affect me? No. Pay him $1 million. I don't care.
We just got this text in. Fletch, you just described Eric Hosmer when he was with the Royals. So good until he came here. Also came here with career-changing injuries. Haas had the bad hips, and X has bad wrists. Again, this falls back on Preller. So listen, you are allowed to be critical of some of the decision-making in the past if you're evaluating AJ Preller this year as well. Like, you're not just judged on your merits for one season alone. That's a good point about bringing in Hosmer. So you missed on your first huge acquisition as a general manager with this team. They paid Eric Hosmer to come over from the Royals. And by the way, so similar with Xander Bogaerts, because you love the fact that he was a World Series champion with the Royals, that he was there to see the whole thing build up.
And you outbid everybody in baseball because that was the only way you got either of those guys.
Exactly right. So you bring him in and all of a sudden he's your guy now. And he was supposed to be clubhouse glue guy and it all fell apart. In fact, it ended up, the divorce was messy with Hosmer. He gets traded to the Red Sox. And then you sign Xander Bogaerts as a free agent. And same thing, injury history, success, World Series champion with his former team comes in and lack of production so far. And it's a large enough sample size to say there's a problem here with Xander Bogaerts in San Diego. I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know if it's because he's hurt.
He's not hitting the ball hard anymore. That's the problem.
Yeah. Gosh,
even when he does hit it, it's a ground out. It's soft too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's more problems with pitching than there is with the offense at the moment with the Padres.
Yeah, now the pitching's in question, man. You don't even know what's going to happen. So, like the trade deadline, they might have an opportunity where they have to bring in a pitcher. And there's some guys out there. One guy that's not a hugely popular name, but he's recently been acquitted of a lot of stuff in Trevor Bauer. I don't know if the Padres make that move. I can't see it happening, but
there are people around San Diego who will tell you in sports media, the Padres will never, ever sign Trevor Bauer. Well, here's the thing about never. Never is a tough word to use because a lot of people use it and a lot of people they're wrong. Hey, listen, I remember in 2016, I heard a lot of people saying never around election time, and then all of a sudden. So
yeah, right, yeah.
I'm just saying never say never because you don't know.
I don't know that anyone's else going to say that, but I read an article this morning. Like, it doesn't sound like Trevor Bauer did nothing wrong by our moral compass, but by the letter of the law, Trevor Bauer was taken advantage of. Like, that's kind of what it looks like now on the back end with text messages that have come out. I'm not advocating for Trevor Bauer to be here. I personally don't like the guy, but I'm saying that could be the only option the Padres have pretty soon.
Speaking of back end. No, I'm just kidding.
Lap.
God, I can't believe it. I'll tell you what, though. This is pretty good. 8-18?
God.
I mean,
Lap, then halftime. Get ready to be out of breath.
Why?
You owed one at the end of last segment. This just iced the cake.
Yeah, you did owe one. Look, there he goes. Oh, TD. Yeah, I mean,
Would you be personally opposed if they brought in a Trevor Bauer?
Dude, listen, here's the thing about me. I can separate art from artist. I've always been able to do that. I played with good guys and I played with bad guys. And as a professional football player, to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't care as long as we were winning. Now, I know a lot of people feel differently than I did. I know there were guys in the locker room who felt differently than I did.
This is going to be so much worse for TD now.
He
did not take a lap. He stood out by the door.
No.
You stood out by the door. I watched you.
I saw him go this way.
Yeah, I didn't crawl back underneath the glass. That's
Did you take
weird.
a
Dude, I saw
lap?
him standing there waiting.
No, I went past this way, then I just got on my hands and knees and crawled underneath this window.
Did you really?
Yeah, I didn't want to be out of breath.
You owe 2 laps now.
That might be triple.
Triple lap? You cheated on the lap? What did the lap ever do to you?
Just like
Text
high
line, what's
school.
the ruling there? He cheated on his punishment.
It's just
What is
like
the
high
ruling?
school.
70470. Start your message with team. He deserves to be punished.
By the way,
Wow.
we started a small brush fire on the text line. Trevor Bauer as a Padre winning has no morals. Hire Trevor Bauer immediately. Okay, so listen to this. So Joe Musgrove, he goes on the IL for a couple of days, and then Darvish, or excuse me, it was back. I did backwards. Darvish went on the IL for a couple of days with neck tightness, and now it's Joe Musgrove's turn. He has elbow inflammation. The rotation's in flux again. We know how a Major League Baseball season works.
Elbow inflation are bad words, too.
No, not good. You need 3 rotational guys you can count on. And if you don't have that, you don't have much. So should the Padres sign Trevor Bauer? Like, is it time to break glass because it's an emergency and sign a guy who's that controversial? We'd love to hear what people think about this. I mean, there are people who say there is no way, but like I said, never say never.
Well, we've been talking about it all morning long here. Padres acquire second baseman Luis Arraez. That's what I said. It was officially announced Saturday morning. Then he made Padre history by going 4 for 6 on his first game as a Padre. But yesterday it wasn't quite as good. When did he go 1 for 5? Padres lose to the Diamondbacks 11-4. In other great Padre news, Joe Musgrove on the IL with inflammation in his elbow. Haven't seen so much inflammation in elbows since making a box of macaroni and cheese. Unbelievable. He's going to be out at least a couple weeks. Why would you shake your head?
I could have sworn you were going to say since Fletch had the apartment to himself because Kendall was at Disneyland.
He's been going to physical therapy ever since.
Just wait, man. Punishments are starting to pour in.
Wow.
On you cheating your lap.
Wow. Well, hey, first of all, let's talk about some racing, okay?
Yeah.
History made in NASCAR yesterday out in Kansas City after Kyle Busch's spin on lap 261 of a scheduled 267 sent the race into overtime. Chris Buescher took the lead as they restart of the 2-lap shootout, only to have Kyle Larson pull even on the backstretch of the final lap. And guys, Larson's number 5 Chevy and Buescher's number 17 Ford, they were just banging on their way to the finish line. And then they ended up crossing. I mean, if you look at this thing in the instant replay, like the final picture, it's dead even.
It's like 0.001 of a second. It's crazy.
Thousandth of a second. It's the closest finish in NASCAR history.
Wow.
I am at attention, boys.
Also, close finishes. Did you guys see the end of the Kentucky Derby?
Oh, yeah.
My God,
Yeah.
how close were those
A
horses?
3-way photo finish. Mystic Dan ends up taking the ribbon.
18-1 odds. Why did we not bet?
Yeah,
It was 20-1, actually.
20-1. I saw 18.
20-1.
21 on certain books, but it was
Oh,
18
got it.
and 1 in the ESPN article. Here's the deal, though. I'll say this. Kentucky Derby, it still brings in a lot of money.
Dude, it seemed lit.
But
I want to go.
But what's weird about horse
I
racing
want to wear hats.
is it you don't, it's not talked about at all. Like, you assume with sports betting being so popular, there's no buildup. It's like all of a sudden it's Derby weekend and everybody gets excited for an hour and then it goes away.
It's like a 45-second race.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, right.
It's I mean, it still rakes.
Dude,
So
do you go out to Del Mar, though?
I've been a few. I have
love
a
it.
ton of fun every time I go.
Sarah and I used to go multiple times a season, and then we kind of fell off. But man, we love it.
I don't really understand the betting. I just kind of do whoever I'm with tells me to. And last time I did that, I was texting with Rich, and he told me to put a bunch of money down on this one specific jockey. That specific jockey came in dead last in every single race he was a part of.
So
I think he was a part of 3 races.
I met the jockey the day before Fletch was going to the track, and super nice guy. Super nice.
Yeah, you know what nice guys don't do? Win.
Well,
Finish last.
They literally say they do, and he did.
Yeah.
He lost all 3 races, like dead, not even close.
Well, what happened was the horse I wanted him to bet on didn't even make it to the racetrack that day because, I don't know, it was out of breath or something. And then all of a sudden, Fletch was like, well, so what do I bet on now? And I was like, well, the jockey's really nice. Just find out what horse this guy's riding. And so he was like, all right, done. He was like, actually, he's riding 2 horses today. I'm like, perfect. Bet them both, buddy. He was like, dude, I got some long odds here. I'm like, yeah, probably because his horses are racing and they just threw him on any old thing. I'm just thinking there's like a recliner out there on the track.
I thought I was about to win like $300, $400 on a $5 bet. Nope.
Wow.
He won nothing.
Sarah will choose. She'll just like bet on the winner, like $2 to win, and then she'll always pick on the name and whatever colors they're wearing.
Oh, interesting.
And it was like the last time we went. There was one race where she looked at it and she was like, "Oh, teal diamonds. I like that one." And I'm like, "It's 46 to 1."
She's like, yep, bet to win.
It won.
No.
Yeah. The next one was 50 to 1. She won.
We're going to the track, boys.
Or
Sarah.
Vegas.
Wow.
TD, you got NBA scores for us?
Oh, yeah, there was one game. The Cavs, they vehicular manslaughter Orlando'd 106-94.
All right, 949 says punishment for bailing on the lap. You have to do 2 of the Pocky 1 chip challenges.
No, I'll die.
913 TD acts like my 10-year-old son, acting all smart when he disobeys, gets caught. 10 laps for TD.
10 laps.
Okay, so
You get caught flaking on a lap.
What?
There
I
has to
don't
be
think
something severe.
Yeah, but nobody does as many as me.
we're getting conflicting
I wonder
answers to
why.
the question as to why or why not the Padres should sign Trevor Bauer. One from the 913. Don't be sour on Bauer, fans. World
like it.
Series ends justify the means. And then from the 619, no, the Padres should not hire Bauer. Tatis and him.
Yeah, leave it out.
Well, let's just put it this way.
That's a rumor, allegedly.
Okay, so it turns out that they may have both
Allegedly.
met at different ends of the same tunnel.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. By the way, we're just talking about driving.
We read an article.
Yeah, we read it.
editorial.
We read it in an editorial.
That's right.
Look, the point is, I think
Punishment for TD. Assist with the next breeding process for Mystic Dan.
Can you imagine if TD worked on a stud farm? Like, what do? I don't know, but check out these forearm muscles.
I need more
That
oil.
one arm that's giant. Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, we're going to continue reading your texts on the other side. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch here, San Diego Sports 760. Padres made a splashy trade. Luis Arraez is now a Padre. He comes in from Miami. Does this change how you feel about the Padres season? Are you more optimistic now? I'm sure. Although there are certain people who are saying, like, we are just frankly peeing into the wind because this isn't a World Series.
Bad idea.
Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm curious of what you think. So 70470, start your message with team on the text line or hit the talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. And while you're on your phone, checking out the free iHeartRadio app, you should also go to your app store. You should do it right now with me. Go to the app store, search these 2 words, Prize Picks. Actually, it's 1 word, but anyways, Prize Picks. And then you download that app. It's got this little purple emblem. And I know that because I stare at it every single day as I click on it, I open it, and then I build entries. I pick more or less on statistical categories for the sports superstars of my liking. And then I just watch the cash winnings roll in, Fletch.
I'm going to need the Padres to have a big game offensively.
Oh boy, what did you just do?
I mean, I got lots of demons going here. So I got Fernando Tatis Jr. with more than 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. But that one feels pretty easy. But then I got a little demon going with Hassan Kim getting more than an RBI and Jake Cronenworth getting more than 1 run. So if I go and I hit here, the demons are going to multiply my entry. And that's how you get to the point where if you have just 4 players and you get 4 correct picks and they're all demons, you can win up to 100 times your money. That's $10 to win $1,000. Get on over to Prize Picks today. Use that promo code DOGS. You're going to get a first deposit match automatically. $100 in, $100 from Prize Picks. So you can now have $200 to play with thanks to Prize Picks. Download that app today. Testing my skills on Prize Picks for basketball season playoffs, for baseball regular season, for the MMA world, which has been electric and has a huge month coming up in June. Prize Picks is how I make my sports watching sports heaven, and it can do that for you too.
Let me ask you this question. How do you spell Arraez? Because I have a feeling he's going to be a part.
Arraez. I believe so.
We'll spell it later because I just wrote arroz because I think I'm hungry. That means rice in Spanish. Look, the point is, with Prize Picks, you can build cross-sport entries also, which is really cool. You could go NBA playoffs. You could go Padres today in Chicago against the Cubs. I love this app. It is my favorite daily fantasy app, and it is available for you to download for free. And if you sign up with promo code DOGS, bark, promo code DOGS, that's DOGS, you could have your first deposit doubled up to $100. This is so simple. You put in $10, you're playing with 20. You put in 50, you're playing with 100. You put in 75, you're playing with 150. You put in $100, just like I did, you're playing with $200. You got that promo going for a long stretch because you're going to be a winner right away. Trust me, so was I. So will you be. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less, pick often, pick all the time if you want. Pick your friends, pick your notes.
It's
Don't
that
pick
easy.
your friends' notes. It's that easy.
Hey, it's Fletch for SDFatLoss.com. Look, if you're in the mood to lose some weight here, especially as we get into summer months and you're looking forward to some margaritas by the pool or whatever it is you do when you're in summer, get on over to SDFatLoss.com today, because in the next 2 months, you will change your life completely from what you are now to what you'll be then. Trust me, you'll be a lot happier. Every morning when you wake up, you look in the mirror and you feel good about yourself. It's because you're not losing weight by cheating like TD when he does his laps. You'll be losing weight by doing it the natural way, doing it the healthy way, and it'll be your hard work that you're putting in. You have anything to say about cheating your laps?
One goat. Never mind.
I
the
don't know what
punchline
that
to a
is.
joke, but you cheat on one lap.
Yes.
Yeah.
You cheated on one lap. But you
That's
didn't
it.
cheat on your diet, and you were able to go the natural way with sdfatloss.com and lose a bunch of weight. 35 plus pounds for TD, 40 plus pounds for me, 35 plus for Rich, and I'm back on it. So last Wednesday, I decided to pick up the reduction phase once again. Since I started on Wednesday to today, what is that, like 5 days? I've lost 6 pounds. So sdfatloss.com, man, it works, and it teaches you a lifelong lesson that you can use anytime you start to feel like maybe it's time to drop 20, 30 pounds. Well, sdfatloss.com, that's the place to go, man. You're doing it the natural way. And if you sign up today with Big Rich, TD, and Fletch as your promo code, or just tell them that we sent you, you're going to save $200 off the program. And that is a lifesaver, man. Get on over to sdfatloss.com today. Start losing weight tomorrow. This update presented by Duthie Power Services. We will start off with the Padres. They won 2 out of 3 against the D-backs. Now they're heading to Chicago for 3 against the Cubs. Arise is now a San Diego Padre. Career .325 hitter since his debut in 2019. Joe Musgrove placed on the IL yesterday with elbow inflammation. Hopefully we get some good news out of that. NBA playoffs, Cavs take Game 7 from the Magic. They officially end the first round. The second round has already begun. T-Wolves beat Denver in an upset 106-99 on Saturday. Couple of games coming up tonight. Game 2 between the Timberwolves and the Nuggets, and Game 1 for the Knicks and the Pacers. At the Kentucky Derby, Mystic Dan wins it in a photo finish, 18-1 odds. And what happened in NASCAR? What was the cool thing?
It was the closest finish in NASCAR history. 1/1000th of a second victory by that one guy, Larson.
And they turn left a lot. Businesses in Southern California have turned to the generator experts at Duthie Power Services for nearly 60 years. Duthie can assist with all your generator needs, commercial, industrial, including maintenance, rentals, purchase, and installation. To secure backup power for your business, go to duthiepower.com.
Got to be careful with all this talk about this new Padre. Every time you mention Luis, I think you're trying to just get a rise out of me.
I'd send you on a lap, but I don't even know what that means anymore.
Listen, I had to go do the happy.
It
turns
feels-
out it was more work to crawl underneath a window than it was just to go run around the stupid building.
That is
What?
baloney.
What?
That is baloney.
I mean, I don't even know what to believe anymore.
Wow.
I got Rich cheating on me every single weekend with
believe
Jared
that we
Smith
will win.
and Steve Hartman, and I love Steve Hartman, and I like Jared Smith. Okay, Brian, no, questionable. But then I got TD here lying to us about laps. It's like, what do I even trust anymore?
That's a good point.
Yeah, well, you can trust an EB, Aaron Bauman.
And now he's reading text that he doesn't have to read.
Well, I do have to read it. She has been to the Kentucky Derby. She said she's been there twice, and it's marathon drinking days.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're at the Kentucky Derby and EB, listen, when she decides to, EB will go hard in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, she owns a Flabongo for crying out loud.
Right.
She's brought it in many times.
She owns the Flabongo.
Sure, it's the only one I know of.
Right.
Only
Yeah, I've
one.
never seen one. Never seen one in the wild.
No, for
No.
sure not.
No, only in
seen-
captivity.
Only in captivity. Only in these confines of this here studio.
Mhm.
So EB, she can handle. So if she says it's a marathon, I mean, boy, that does put a little perspective on the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
You better get your mint juleps right because you're gonna be drinking them all day long.
When is opening day at Del Mar?
Ooh, I forget.
No idea.
I want
They
to
have
say
2
it's
sessions,
July.
right? They have a fall and a summer.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like it's July.
I feel like it's July because I remember one time I went out there, it was early July, maybe July 15th, something like that. And I remember I seen all the hats and these drunk ladies who were trying to wear high heels on the track and they were just falling down everywhere.
Right.
It is great people watching. I highly recommend you do this. You
July
go
20th. July 20th. We got to go.
There you
Okay,
go.
so you go for a early morning golf sesh at Torrey Pines. This is what I did last time I went. And then you get really drunk while you're on the golf course, and then you just drive on. Well, somebody
There's
drives you on over.
Absolutely no way we'd make it through that
What are
day.
you talking? I did it.
Tell you what,
There-
I am rock hard right now.
Wow.
That sounds
Good.
amazing.
I did it, and I lost my phone at some point at the horse races. And so we went back through the pictures of the day, and you could see my phone like on my lap where I'm sitting at one point, and that's how we went back. And my phone was still sitting right there. Great people out there at the Del Mar racetracks.
That is awesome.
They don't
Wow.
steal your phone.
Yeah. Oh, TD is going through thumbnail pictures. I'll tell you what, one of my favorite things to do when you're at any like opening day at a racetrack, and I've been to a couple. I've been to Del Mar for sure, Santa Anita. I think I was there on opening day, and there was one in. It doesn't matter. I think I've been to 3 different tracks. I've been to a bunch of these events, and the like seeing the before and after. Like, so if you're sitting somewhere near an entrance or an egress at all, you see people walk in, you're like, whoa, like dressed to the nines, basically like these white tight fitting dresses. And then you start seeing people file their way out as the day gets longer. And the same person wearing like these really nice clothes, like the hat has been torn off their head. They have mud on them because they fell down at a certain point. Like, it's hysterical. It's the best. Oh yeah. Oh my God. I think I've seen them a couple times. I think
they get dressed up.
I think they work there.
Yeah.
You catch my drift?
Uh-huh.
Wink.
What?
Anyways, more texts are filing in on the Padres. The consensus is people are pretty pumped up about the Padres getting Luis Arraez. There's a lot of positivity around this. And by the way, so am I. I'm very happy that they made this move. I'm not going to, I would not, I want AJ Preller to bask in the warm glow of the fan appreciation for making this move and convincing the powers that be to allow him to trade these prospects, because I do concentrate in my own life. And I think most people do, and most people should concentrate on the present more than the future. It's more important. It's what you have right now. But, and there is a but, does this set us up for a situation where AJ Preller is going to spend away a bunch of capital in terms of the future of this team, because he knows his time is not long for the Padres if they don't have a successful season now? So was this move made because he's really interested in the Padres being the best team they possibly can be this season and into the future? Or is he only concerned about the short term because that's all that's promised to AJ Preller, and he'll figure out next year when it comes, he's got to find a way to make this season work?
Is it weird that I'm kind of okay if that is the case? Like, if he's going to burn it all down for this year to try to make a big run this year, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but you know what? AJ Preller goes out on a shield. I'm kind of okay with that because, Rich, you've brought it up a few times. If there's any sort of regime change, it's not just the regime that's changing, it's everything that's changing. That means farm system, that means current players on the roster. I'm okay if AJ Preller is going all out for this year to try to make a championship happen this year, because I look to the future, man, and there's going to be some dark days ahead for Padres fans. I just know it's coming. So if right now is all you got, might as well go all out right now. I'm fine being the guy that shows up to Vegas with only $1,000 and puts it all on black immediately, because maybe your night is good and your weekend is going to turn into an incredible weekend. Maybe it's just going to fizzle out right there.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too, actually. Side note, do we have somebody on hold for 15 hours?
I don't think so.
Okay,
What?
cool.
What?
Just saw an arrow there. That was like, I just thought, just concerned. It's fine.
But you reminded me, you need to call in 877-767-4760. That's 877-767-4760. If you want to win those Iron Maiden tickets, you got to call that number at 8:45. You call right then, you're calling number 5. You're going to see Iron Maiden.
Woo!
Concert week.
I like that a lot.
Woo.
You guys ever seen Iron Maiden?
No, never.
I've seen them.
You saw, what's the name of the mascot? Is it
Eddie?
Eddie?
Yeah,
Eddie.
yeah, big giant inflatable
Skeleton.
Eddie. Yeah, it was cool, man.
That's
That's cool.
Well,
Yeah,
someone's
right.
going, and they're
Someone's
bringing
going, yeah, but you don't want smoke there though. Smoky.
No,
Smokey's no good. Yeah,
no.
no.
Bruce Dickinson will be pissed.
Yeah, he's like, look, I don't suck on chili dogs, and I don't like smoking no more.
Never has.
Mm-mm.
Never will. We know that.
Yes.
All right. Coming up next, bottom of the barrel. But before we run, want to talk to you about my friends over at Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery, the Man Zone. Dr. Roy David, who's a double board certified plastic surgeon, but that's not all he does. You know what else he does? He takes care of men's health at the Man Zone. And I am a patient of Dr. Roy David. I am a believer of testosterone replacement therapy. It has made me feel so much better. I look, I can't sing the praises enough. And by the way, if you go to themanzone.com, that's themanzone.com right now, what you're going to get is $50 off your first testosterone treatment. That's $50 off if you mention Big Rich from Big Rich, TD and Fletch over at the Man Zone. Book your appointment today. If you're a man in your late 30s, you're late or into your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, this is a no-brainer. This should be a part of your annual physical. You should get your testosterone checked. Most doctors don't do it. That's the reason why I went over to the Man Zone. And my symptoms were like this. I wake up tired every morning, regardless of how much sleep I get. I feel sluggish throughout the day, regardless of how much sleep I get or how much water I drink or what my diet looks like, or even if I exercise. I just can't seem to get out of this funk. And it was going on for what felt like years. It was probably a little over a year. And so I finally get my testosterone checked, and it's in the low average range. Not great, especially at 37 years old when I got the first test done. And so they put me on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. And since then, I feel like a new person. This was only 4 months ago, but I feel like a brand new person. No, it's a little longer than that, maybe 6 months ago. It has changed my life. I feel great. I wake up energized every morning. I'm going back to the gym. I'm getting good workouts. It's life-changing. So if you're like me, if you're waking up feeling sluggish, if you feel lethargic through the day, if you're blaming it on your age, I'm getting a little older, baloney. You need to go get your testosterone checked, and it could kick you in a new direction. Okay, so it's themanzone.com, themanzone.com. And if you mention Big Rich, you save $50 off your first testosterone therapy appointment. Themanzone.com.
Hey, make sure you hit us up on the talkback mic while you're listening on the free iHeartRadio app. At least I think that's what it tells me to do right now. It does. Promote talkback feature.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing. The talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. We've been asking you questions all day, and then we want to hear from you, responding to those questions within a 30-second time frame, like a voicemail, only on the free iHeartRadio app.
San Diego Sports 760. We're more than gray coats. Gosh, it is a celebration here at iHeart San Diego. Congrats to Andrew Gonzalez, sales guy. Him and his beautiful wife, they welcome in a brand new baby boy.
Yeah. I noticed that somebody put like a heart and says there was a heart reaction. How do you react to an email?
Dude, I don't know, but here at iHeart San Diego, we're more than great coats. So anything's possible.
Can I hijack bottom of the barrel for a second?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys follow Paris Hilton on Instagram.
We don't.
Worthwhile
I
follow.
can. Hang on.
And I don't know if this was actually posted to her account or someone else's, but I was scrolling through Reels, and Paris Hilton had a baby at least sometime recently. And I guess she uses a ton of self-bronzer or like goes and gets spray tans all the time.
Uh-huh.
Well, the baby in the family portrait looks purple next to her because she looks so orange. And so she can't spray tan the baby, obviously, but she gets a big spray tan.
Oh.
And now the baby looks like a completely different species than her because of how orange she is for the photo.
I got super distracted. What was I looking
cracking
up
me
again?
up.
Paris
Oh, yeah,
Hilton?
this one right here. So she's in this dress. I mean, that's a very, very new baby. And so they can be a purplish hue.
But compared to her, I mean, it's ridiculous.
So she, POV, your mom is the queen of spray tan. So look, yeah, I you know what? If there's one thing I will say about Paris Hilton, and look, she was on the forefront of famous for the sake of being famous. Like, you know, everything was staged.
I didn't even know she was associated with the hotels until like 3 years ago. When she started doing commercials for the hotels.
So so yeah, not only is she the heiress to the Hilton, you know, fortune, but she also wanted to be a reality star. So when she started showing up on red carpets, everybody was like, who's this blonde chick? And like, she would start, I remember they would stage photo ops where they would have a cameraman, you know, like a paparazzi camera. They would say, intentionally to them, like, we're going to show up at this restaurant, crouch down and get a good view, like low view of me getting out of the car, so she could intentionally flash everything under her cocktail dress that she was wearing to the camera so she could get more publicity around her name. It was done intentionally, allegedly. That's per sources, right? So read in an editorial. So
right.
I mean, like, but I will say this about Paris Hilton. She's always had like a great deal of self-awareness, and
she still looks good.
Yeah, and she still looks good as a mom. I mean,
yeah. I mean, she looks better than ever, I think. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm looking for a date. I'm looking for a date for Julian.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
So he mentioned that he is a 6'4", 212-pound Latino man with dark eyes and dark hair. He's looking for a Latina lady. And I think you're barking up the right tree on Instagram.
Did you sign up on Tinder to get Julian a date?
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea, but no, I'm just looking in Instagram.
Well, that's where thank you start today with Julian from the 760, who we're going to set up on a date, damn it.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Also, thank you to Richard, new listener who just won those Iron Maiden tickets. Richard, thank you for joining us, man, from San Ysidro. Be a part of the ride forever. We're going to the moon.
Yeah, the hangers, the bangers, the textures, the dogs. We love you all. The Herd is next on San Diego Sports 760. Have it your way.